Chapter 652, Life After Marriage. Many are the years to come. Si-Han's mouth twitched slightly. Yi Wanwan placated him and asked, Si-Han, I have a question I want to ask you. The sofa was spacious, so Si-Han lay directly next to her. His eyes landed on her body, and the depths of his eyes still contained some traces of lust. What's the question? Yi Wanwan thought about it for a moment before asking, just want to ask. What does your ideal married life look like? Unknowingly, her thoughts of escaping from him gradually disappeared to the point where she started considering this kind of question. In her previous life, her life after she and Si-Han got married was a nightmare she didn't want to remember. Married life. It was rare that Si-Han remained silent for a long while before he finally said, life's daily necessities. Yi Wanwan raised her brows, clearly not expecting that Si-Han's answer would be so plain and indifferent. So plain to the point of not having any special desires. With Si-Han's temperament, she expected he would want to live differently from other people. Just as Yi Wanwan was about to speak, a ringing suddenly resounded. It was her older brother. Cough, I'm going to take a call. Si-Han's expression turned slightly icy. The third rule. Yi Wanwan's lips twitched slightly. On the other hand, this rule is rock solid and unshakable, huh? I know, the third rule, I'm not allowed to attract the opposite sex, right? But this is my own brother and it's so late. What if there's an emergency? Si-Han remained silent and didn't say a word, which meant he was reluctantly giving in to her. Alright, compared to the past when she couldn't even glance at other men, he already made great improvements and she should give him some encouragement. Thank you, darling. Yi Wanwan planted a kiss on his face, then went to answer the call. Hello, brother, did something happen? Why are you calling me at this hour? At the other end of the call, Yi Mu Fan sounded very serious. When I met Luo Chen and Gong Su today, I had some inspiration and designed different types of outfits for them. I sent them to your email, take a look. Yi Wanwan sighed. Oh, you're so diligent that it seems like you're a quality imitation. Yi Mu Fan replied, annoyed, I'm the real deal, thank you very much. After that, Yi Mu Fan stammered, are you with that wild man right now? What's going on with you guys now, living together already? He's not a wild man but an upright and genuine boyfriend, thank you very much. Yi Wanwan corrected him before she answered, he hasn't been feeling well lately, so I'm here keeping him company. Although he knew his sister was no longer the same girl as before, Yi Mu Fan was still worried. Remember what I said to you today, be more discerning. I got it. After she hung up, Yi Wanwan quickly went to placate the great devil who was drowning in a sea of vinegar. 1. Darling, I hope you don't mind. My brother is always worried you're going to cheat me for my money and sex, they're all groundless fears. Even if there's any cheating involved, I'll be the one cheating on you, alright? Si-Han, late at night. After Yi Wanwan coaxed Si-Han to bed, she posted something on her WeChat Moments, I'm willing to accompany you for the rest of my life with the basic necessities, vinegar tea. At first, she thought nobody would reply at this hour, she didn't expect that there were some night owls who would comment so quickly. Lin K, spreading poison so late at night, could you be more considerate? Single dogs like me end up getting abused even when we're just scrolling through our moments in the middle of the night. Xiaozhi, Little White Rabbit is so insightful, Su Yi, I counted and there are 9 vinegars, Yi Mu Fan, I've blocked it already, thank you. Chapter 653, Wealth and Beauty. The next morning. Yi Wanwan noticed quite a few replies from her post the moment she woke up. From the maids to the guards, many responded to her post. At that moment, she suddenly realized she was no longer in contact with the people she knew before. Now, her circle of friends was all connected to Si-Han. Yi Wanwan scrolled through and found that Si-Han, who never ever posted on his moments, actually posted something as well, wishing you wealth and beauty for the rest of your life. PFFFF, isn't he the wealth and beauty? Does that mean he's willing to let me take him for the rest of my life? What a Touching blessing, huh? After washing up, Yi Wanwan went downstairs to find a certain someone. The moment she got to the doorway and walked past the study, she saw someone walking out. Morning, Miss Yi. Chin Rua. She was holding a pile of documents in her hand. There wasn't the slightest change in her expression when she saw Yi Wanwan. I heard Miss Yi is preparing to shoot a new show. If you need any help, you can always talk to me, Chin Rua, she said in a friendly tone. No, thank you. I see. Oh right, I guess Ajio will definitely make arrangements. I'm worrying too much. Yi Wanwan furrowed her brows and glanced at Chin Rua with a forced smile. What she said clearly implied that she was using and relying on Si-Han. In her previous life, this was the case as well. At that time, she wanted to be independent and didn't want to always stay at home, so Si-Han invested in many of her projects, but they all ended up as losses. After that, this incident was brought up by Chin Ruashi's people and they caused trouble for her. The main point was that they believed she wasn't capable at all and wasn't good enough to be the mistress of the household. Miss Chin worried too much, indeed. Yi Wanwan turned and left right after speaking. Chin Ruashi's eyes darkened as she looked at the gorgeous girl walking away. Ajio wouldn't just look at the exterior of a person. Who is this woman exactly? Dazzling media. After they arrived at the company building, Yi Wanwan held a meeting to introduce Yi Mu Fan to a few of the staff. This is our newly appointed head stylist. Yi Mu Fan stood up. Hello, my surname is Yi, but you can call me Felix. We'll be fellow colleagues from now on, so please give me your guidance. During the period of time under Yi Wanwan's vigorous modifications, the general morale of the company changed drastically. Plainly, the interests of the company decided everything. Whether the people would obey her or not depended on whether she could make profits for them. Judging by the present situation, Yi Wanwan's approval rating was still very high. So even if she suddenly hired a head stylist externally, nobody had any objections at all and they all expressed their welcome. Furthermore, Yi Mu Fan's bearing and temperament were quite domineering. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Teacher Felix. After Yi Xiaoting was overthrown, Yi Mu Fan disappeared from the industry for 2 whole years and currently, nobody knew about him or his name. Alright, Teacher Felix will be in charge of all styling matters from now on. Everyone should get to know each other better and if there are any questions about styling, you can look for him directly. After a series of instructions, Yi Wanwan called Yi Mu Fan into her office alone and went through the company situation in detail. You don't have to worry about Luo Chen, he'll definitely cooperate with you. Although Gong Su has his own stylist, the main point is his accessories. He usually likes to dress himself, you probably have to take note of this. Yi Wanwan warned him about the person who needed more attention. No problem. Also, I already recommended a number of dramas that focus heavily on costumes at Worldwide, but the best thing I can do for you is to provide resources. That's sufficient. Yi Wanwan nodded then smiled before showing Yi Mu Fan her phone. Take a look at this. What is it? Yi Mu Fan followed Yi Wanwan's gaze and in the end, what he saw on her phone was a gossip regarding Shen Mengqi. Chapter 654, Show My Sincerity. It was a piece of celebrity gossip news on her phone screen. The title was, Fashion Guru Shen Mengqi staged a scene of a car accident, and in the photo, Shen Mengqi was wearing a pair of leather pants and a motorcycle jacket. Her hair was extremely curly and messy, it was simply terrifying. At first, a couple fans praised her mindlessly, but after that, the netizens and a few fashionistas started insulting her. This is called unconventional. I think the stylist must be out of his mind, right? She doesn't look nice at all, so darn ugly. If this is fashion then it's an insult to our aesthetic tastes. Didn't expect that the fashion guru would make such a styling mistake, this outfit is too hideous. She's probably trying to imitate Xiao Kuexian, huh? But she doesn't give off Xiao Kuexian's cool and confident aura, this looks like she was trying to impersonate someone but made a fool of herself. I suddenly find Shen Mengqi's but really flat and her thighs huge. In the past, I didn't notice it at all and thought her figure was pretty nice. Yi Mu Fan read those comments in silence. In the past, when he designed her outfits, he was very careful and put in a lot of effort. He would avoid highlighting her shortcomings so they obviously didn't notice before. So, do you feel better? Yi Wanwan asked. Recently, he felt that his younger sister was becoming more foreign to him, but the care she had for him never changed at all. She's a nobody, Yi Mu Fan replied. It wasn't worth wasting his emotions on this person. At the same time at Assembly of Stars Entertainment, Shen Mengqi tore up the newspaper on the table in anger, then glared fiercely at the man across her. He Junchen, what on earth are you doing? Didn't you say there were absolutely no problems with that outfit? Cough. There was indeed nothing wrong with that outfit. Xiao Kuexan wore something like this previously as well. It was very stunning that time. TSK, so you're saying it's not a problem with the style but my problem? Meng Qi, don't be so agitated, that's not what I meant. You're naturally beautiful, so obviously, you'll look good in anything. It's those people who are blind. He Juncheng, stop sucking up to me. I'll be taking part in the fashion festival soon, and if anything goes wrong, you know the consequences, yeah? Meng Qi. Meng Qi, Shen Meng Qi slammed the door shut in He Juncheng's face and he turned gloomy. Damn it, it's all that loser Yi Mu Fan's fault. Seems like I have to put in some capital. On the first day of work, Yi Mu Fan was extremely busy. He didn't even have a chance to rest the entire day, but this gave him a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. Just as he was about to get into the car, his phone started ringing. Seeing the caller ID, Yi Mu Fan's face clouded over. It was He Juncheng. The darkness on Yi Mu Fan's face dissipated very quickly and he answered casually, Hello? Hello, young Master Yi. Do you have some time now? Can we talk? He Juncheng asked very courteously. Oh. Talk about what? It was indeed my fault, but it was just over a woman. Young Master Yi, you fooled around in the past too, so why do you have to be so petty, huh? Tisk, Yi Mu Fan chuckled. Are you done? He Juncheng swallowed his spit, afraid Yi Mu Fan would hang up, so he quickly said, I thought it through and in order to show my sincerity, I'll pay you a price that you'll definitely be satisfied with as long as you're willing to come back and help me. At this moment, Yi Mu Fan didn't have the same burning fury he had that night. His fingers lightly rubbed the car keys in his hand as he replied, Sure. Chapter 655, Have fun waiting. Then He Juncheng was over the moon. His heart filled with mockery and disdain. As expected, with Yi Mu Fan's penniless state, he was satisfied at the mention of money and relented immediately. I thought he would have some backbone. TSK, if it wasn't for his usefulness, he'd just be a rat in the gutter. He's not worth speaking nicely to at all. Young Master Yi is indeed straightforward. That's right, there's no need to reject money just because you're angry. Anyway, we've worked together for so long, I definitely won't treat you badly. Where are you? Let's meet to discuss right now, okay? He Juncheng said eagerly. Sure, I'll see you at the foot of Dragon Burial Hill in the north of the city. Great, 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 see you later. Dusk at Dragon Burial Hill. The outskirts were deserted and quiet. There were practically no vehicles or pedestrians around. He Juncheng drove very quickly and arrived within a minute for a journey that normally took half an hour. At the same time, Yi Mu Fan had just arrived at the underground car park of Grandview Park. After he parked his car, he walked into the lift leisurely with his keys in his hand. He opened the door to the apartment and sat comfortably on the sofa before He Juncheng's call came. Yi Mu Fan glanced at the caller ID on his screen, took out a bottle of mineral water from the fridge and casually took a sip before slowly answering the call. Hello? Hey. Young Master Yi, I'm here. Are you on your way? He Juncheng asked. Yi Mu Fan crossed his legs without a change in his expression and wasn't anxious at all. Yes, I'm on the way. Good, good, I'll wait for you then. Okay. Yi Mu Fan hung up the phone and tossed it aside. After that, he took out a clean set of clothes and went to take a shower. He Junqing sat in the car and kept checking his watch from time to time. Shortly after, 15 minutes had gone by and Yi Mu Fan still hadn't appeared. He Junqing wasn't anxious and continued waiting, since he sped over in his sports car, obviously he would arrive much earlier. About half an hour later, Yi Mu Fan still hadn't arrived yet, so He Junqing made a second call. "Hello young Master Yi, are you here yet?" Yi Mu Fan was lying in bed in his pajamas with one hand holding a glass of red wine and another holding a fashion magazine. "There's a traffic jam on the road. I think it'll take quite a while longer." He Junqing, "Oh, alright, then roughly how long will you take?" Yi Mu Fan, "About 10 minutes. Alas, 10 minutes went by and Yi Mu Fan still wasn't there, so He Junqing called him once again. "Ah, I'm still on the way." Yi Mu Fan couldn't even be bothered to think of a new excuse now. He Junqing grew impatient. Ever since he became famous, he didn't have to wait for anybody, it was always the other way around. But today, he actually had to wait. He felt so lucky that with his little ability to pick up women, he was able to seduce Shen Mengqi and made her so happy. And it just so happened that Shen Mengqi seemed to have some hatred for the Yi family, resulting in another advantage for him. Not only did he have a woman to play with, he even seized someone's reputation, so he was as pleased as Punch for sure. But right now, because of this fool, Yi Mu Fan, he had a big headache. Thankfully, it would be too easy to handle this idiot, he would just give him some money and he'd obey and everything would still belong to him. Just waiting for a little while longer didn't matter. He Junqing took a deep breath. Sure, no hurry." Yi Mu Fan glanced sideways at the phone he tossed aside and continued sipping his red wine. He said unhurriedly, "TSK, have fun waiting then." Chapter 656, Come here, I'll tell you. The sun was slowly setting and the sky turned darker. In the blink of an eye, 2 hours had gone by and everything was pitch black. This secluded place was void of people, there were neither houses nor shops present, and there was even a cemetery on the mountain. It felt eerie and chilly. He Junqing shuddered. He rubbed his arms and muttered a curse as he made another call. "Young Master Yi, is your car working fine? Did it break down on the road again? Why don't I just go over and pick you up?" Soon, be there in about 5 more minutes." He said 5 minutes right before. This guy is doing this on purpose. He Junqing was so furious that he nearly cursed. "My car is parked in front of the signboard, just meet me here directly." "Alright, got it." Yi Mu Fan hung up, drank almost half a bottle of red wine and finished reading his magazines and some documents. Then he finally got up and left the house at a leisurely pace. An hour later, Yi Mu Fan finally arrived via taxi. He Junqing had waited 4 hours for Yi Mu Fan and he nearly exploded. In the end, he still smiled when he saw Yi Mu Fan. Young Master Yi, you're finally here. Your luck isn't too good today, huh? You kept bumping into obstacles on your way here. But it's okay, the road to happiness is paved with hardships, right?" He couldn't say anything even when he knew Yi Mu Fan did it on purpose. "Darn it, wait till I settle this one. I'll make sure to torture Yi Mu Fan." "But young Master Yi, why did you meet me here? Should we go somewhere else to get a drink and talk?" He Junqing felt like this place was too creepy. Yi Mu Fan lit a cigarette, took a long drag and puffed out a circle of smoke. "This place is pretty good, quiet and secluded." Fine, as long as you like it." "Then let's talk business now. As long as you continue working for me, I'll pay you $10,000 a month. What do you think? Generous enough, right?" He Junqing went straight to the point in a hurry. Yi Mu Fan took another drag and mumbled, $10,000. Seeing that Yi Mu Fan was still hesitant, He Junqing said in a gallant tone, "I'll give you $20,000. Official staff in the company earn the same amount." When Yi Mu Fan heard that, he laughed out loud. Then, $30,000? That's almost the same as what I'm getting. He Junqing said charitably. TSK, he earns $30,000 from the company, but his reputation earns him 100 times more than that. He's just treating me like a beggar. He Junqing said earnestly, Young Master Yi, I know your life isn't easy right now. I'm sure you're aware of your current situation as well. That second uncle of yours isn't easy to deal with and will never let you succeed. Honestly, you won't get a better offer than this outside, and some companies might not even let you through the door. With your father in such heavy debt, at least you don't have to worry about clothing and food when you work for me, right? Yi Mu Fan raised his brows. That makes sense. Once He Junqing saw that Yi Mu Fan was almost convinced, he got excited. What else do you want? Just let me know. Yi Mu Fan chuckled and said mysteriously, What I want, come here, I'll tell you. He Junqing walked over anxiously. Yi Mu Fan tossed his cigarette away and extinguished it with his shoe, then smiled and looked at He Junqing. In the next second, just as He Junqing stepped towards him, there was a resounding bang. He Junqing cried out in pain and fell to the ground from the punch. Chapter 657, Sis, You won. He Junqing was beaten till he saw stars, and he only regained his senses after a long time. Holding his now bloody nose, he roared, Yi Mu Fan, you're insane. Yi Mu Fan approached him step by step. There's more to my craziness, want to try it? Fear enshrouded He Junqing. You. What are you planning to do? Don't you dare mess with me. Ah. What are you doing? He Junqing was a weakling while Yi Mu Fan had been fighting since he was little. He Junqing was no match for him at all and was subdued with a few beatings as Yi Mu Fan tied him up tightly with a rope. Yi Mu Fan. Let me go, you better think about the consequences. Yi Mu Fan ignored He Junqing's howling. He took He Junqing's phone and threw it away. After that, he carried him to the top of the mountain like he was carrying a little chick. Finally, Yi Mu Fan threw He Junqing in the middle of the graveyard and said, Great director He, enjoy the night. He Junqing's gaze swept across the densely packed graveyard and goosebumps started forming. He was so scared that his voice cracked, Fuck. Let me go. Let me go. Yi Mu Fan. Go to hell. Now he finally realized why Yi Mu Fan wanted to meet there, but it was too late. Yi Mu Fan placed his hands behind his head and looked up at the moon while he made his way down the mountain slowly with He Junqing whining in the background. Yi Mu Fan. You asshole. Help, help me, is there anyone out there, someone get me out of here. He Junqing continued yelling for the entire night, but how would there be anyone at the graveyard at this hour? After Yi Mu Fan returned to his apartment, he slept till daylight so his skin looked radiant and smooth. He arrived at the company looking refreshed and handsome. The moment he reached the office, he heard a few colleagues gossiping about something. Really? Is it true? Was it really He Junqing? That head stylist He Junqing from Assembly of Stars. They got a clear shot of his face. It's him for sure. Who did he offend, huh? He was actually tied up and dumped at the graveyard. What are you guys chatting about? Yi Mu Fan overheard He Junqing's name so he walked over. Head stylist Felix. Good morning. We're talking about the latest morning post on Weibo. Someone went to Longqian Mountain early in the morning and saw a man being tied up and tossed in the graveyard. It scared him out of his wits and he thought he saw a ghost, so he took a photo and posted it onto the internet. In the end, netizens found out that the man was actually the head stylist, He Junqing, of Assembly of Stars Entertainment. Surprising, huh? Yi Mu Fan raised his brows and spoke without any expression, quite surprising. At this moment, Yi Mu Fan's phone started ringing. It was a call from Yi Wanwan. Yi Mu Fan's face turned from relaxed to panicked. He quickly went to the toilet and answered the call nervously. Hello, Wanwan. Without any polite greetings, Yi Wanwan went straight to the point. You were the one behind what happened to He Juncheng. Darn it. Sure enough, she found out. Yi Mu Fan stuttered as he tried to explain. This. Sis, you. Don't be angry, I won't be impulsive and cause trouble anymore. Why didn't you strip him naked before tying him up? Also, don't you think dumping him at the main gate of Imperial City's Fashion Management Association would be better? Yi Wanwan said in a dissatisfied tone. Yi Mu Fan couldn't complete his sentence. Sis, you won. Chapter 658, affects the image of the city. Yi Mu Fan choked. That wouldn't be too good, huh? It would affect the image of the city, Yi Wanwan said. Forget it, there are still chances to deal with him in the future. Just focus on your work first. I'm going to Worldwide for a meeting and we'll try to find a chance to recommend you and see whether you can enter the production team of The Prosperous Dynasty. I'll let you know when I'm back. Sure. Thank you, boss. Worldwide Entertainment Headquarters Building, Conference Room. Chu Hongguang was in a great mood as he praised and flattered Yi Wanwan in front of everyone. Ha, in such a short time, Dazzling's profits have doubled. Yi Bai, you did a fantastic job. The others from senior management echoed those praises for her as well. Director Yi is indeed going to surpass us. Chairman Chu is really a good judge of talent. That's right. Chairman Chu has good judgment and picked a good horse like Director Yi. Yi Wanwan said humbly, it was all thanks to Chairman Chu's guidance. Chu Hongguang was very pleased with Yi Wanwan's reply. Alright, you don't have to be so humble. I placed you in an important position because you're talented, but young people can't get restless. Don't be like some people who have bad intentions and start having wicked ideas once they get more power. Chu Hongguang praised her and didn't forget to throw in some reminders. After all, Yi Wanwan was doing so well so quickly and he wasn't the one who groomed her, so it was normal that he was worried. I'll bear in mind Chairman Chu's words. There's also still one thing that I need Chairman Chu's permission for. Yi Wanwan said. Oh. Speak your mind. Yi Wanwan replied, I heard that the stylist for The Prosperous Dynasty hasn't been set and I have someone in mind on my side. I wonder if it's possible to allow him to go over and give it a try. If he's not suitable then Chairman Chu may find someone else immediately. Oh, such a small matter. Just get him to report to us directly, we'll set him as the stylist then. Since he's someone you recommend, there shouldn't be any problems, Chu Hongguang said generously. Thank you, Chairman Chu. Yi Wanwan wasn't surprised at all. She performed well and in order for Chu Hongguang to express his gratitude, he should be agreeable to a small request like this. It was just that Chu Hongguang seemed to trust her on the surface, but this sly old fox would never give her free rein so easily. He might take action soon and she had to have a plan beforehand. After the meeting ended, in Worldwide's chairman office, a slovenly young man sat on the sofa and rushed over the moment he saw Chu Hongguang. Uncle, you're done with the meeting? Why were you so free to come see me today? Chu Hongguang gave his nephew side-eye nonchalantly. The young man's eyes shifted and he spoke anxiously, Uncle, I'm worried for you. Do you really trust that Yi Bai? After all, he's not someone you brought in yourself and with such a big company like Dazzling, aren't you worried about handing it over to an outsider? Look at Zhou Wenbin, he's been with you for so many years, yet he's still so unreliable, much less an outsider. Chu Hongguang obviously knew his nephew had his eyes on Dazzling, this fat chunk of meat. Look at you being so anxious, Yi Bai's just taken over Dazzling for a short while, and the company isn't stable yet, so why are you so anxious? The young man understood the meaning behind Chu Hongguang's words and was delighted. Uncle, you mean that once the company is stable, I'll be able to take over? So you already made plans, huh? Uncle, you're capable and wise, indeed. I was worrying too much. Chu Hongguang was very satisfied with this sucking up. Bastard, get back and understand the situation at Dazzling. Don't get flustered and mess things up in the future. The young man was elated. Got it, uncle, don't worry. Chapter 659, Not going there to stir up trouble. After Yi Wanwan walked out of Worldwide's building, she gave Yi Mu Fan a call to inform him of the outcome. Go, I've already settled things on my side here. You should get ready and report for work at the Prosperous Dynasty, quickly. Huh? Yi Mu Fan took a few seconds to register what she said. Say settled? Just like that. So I just have to report directly. There's no trial or anything. No need, Chu Hongguang had made the post himself. As long as it's not an important post, Chu Hongguang won't really mind. It's normal for him to simply use it to return a favor. However, this opportunity was very important to Yi Mu Fan. Whether or not he could use this chance to make it big would depend on himself. After all, it took way too long to start from the bottom and he greatly needed influential work. Taking advantage of the fact that he had some authority now, he had to quickly strive for more resources because next time, it might not be so simple, but whether or not you can make the most out of this opportunity depends on you, Yi Wanwan reminded him. Got it. Wanwan, I won't let you down. Yi Wanwan's face warmed up a little. And, go get busy. I'm heading down to the site of Terrifying Dragon 2, to check on Luo Chen. Okay. A certain filming site of a variety show, are we done yet? Gong Su's patience was running out. The director of the broadcasting station jogged over quickly, we're done. Su Ji, the station would like to treat you to dinner tonight. Will you do us the honor? No way. Once Gong Su heard that it was done, he stood up immediately and strode off. The director stood in the same spot awkwardly. The little assistant hurriedly chased after him. Suji, go slower, where are we going to go now? The filming site of Terrifying Dragon 2. Gong Su replied. What are we going there for? The little assistant didn't understand. Obviously we're going to find Yi Ji. He doesn't have the time to come over, so I'm going there to find him instead. Gong Su replied like it was the obvious thing to do. Is that okay? Should we inform Yi Ji first? The little assistant asked meekly. What? What kind of expression is this? I'm going to see Yi Ji, not stir up trouble. Gong Su was offended. Yes, the little assistant wiped the sweat off his forehead. His relationship with Luo Chen was like fire and water. If they went to the filming site now, how could he not worry? What if something happened? How was he going to answer Yi Ji? He could only hope that Yi Ji had already ended his meeting and was at the filming site. In the meantime, Imperial City's Terrifying Dragon 2 filming site, the production crew rented the entire scenic area for the filming of this series. Currently, the shooting was undergone with nervousness. The crew was ready in their positions and the cameras were pointed towards a pair in the woods, Luo Chen and one of the supporting actress in the series, Liang Yu, who was playing the role of Qingqing. An imperial teacher in the state in Terrifying Dragon predicted that there was someone who would bring misfortune and cause the dynasty to perish, so he gave the order to eliminate this person. The imperial teacher calculated that person's birthday and whereabouts, but nobody could find Lin Luo Chen. In order for the so-called safety and peace of the nation, they decided to burn down the entire village. Everyone in the village died and only Lin Luo Chen, Yun Hai, and Qingqing managed to escape. The three of them fled to the general's mansion and joined the army camp. In the end, many years later, Lin Luo Chen's identity was exposed. At that moment, Yun Hai was out on a mission in the desert and didn't know anything about this. Qingqing fled with Lin Luo Chen and was finally killed when she blocked a sword for Lin Luo Chen. Chapter 660, Mistake. Qingqing's death became the catalyst for Lin Luo Chen's transformation and was also the biggest stain on his heart. After Lin Luo Chen joined the evil cult, he had a complete change in temperament, lost all emotions and rejected love. One day, in the middle of a battle, Lin Luochen unexpectedly noticed a female disciple from a certain sect, Meng Xiaoro, who actually looked very similar to Qingqing. As Meng Xiaoro and the person he loved looked so similar, Lin Luochen didn't kill her and brought her to the cult to recuperate instead. When the two of them got closer, Meng Xiaoro slowly realized that Lin Luochen was completely different from the great devil she thought he was. After spending so much time together, she started to develop feelings for him. Lin Luochen was also struggling. He knew she wasn't Qingqing, yet he couldn't help looking for Qingqing's shadow in her, and he even started to like her. The scene they were filming today was the scene where Meng Xiaoro confessed her feelings for him. 3, 2, 1. Action. Shooting began. In the woods, the girl was dressed in a green dress. She looked delicate and adorable while the man was clad in a black robe. His icy expression was like white snow piling up on a sheet of ice. The girl stared at the guy before her, starry-eyed. She couldn't conceal the love she had for him at all and blushed as she spoke. Ah. Chen. I like you. Facing this person who was a great devil in everyone's eyes, the girl didn't have a look of disdain or hatred. There was only adoration, and she brilliantly depicted a little girl deeply in love. Following that, the camera focused on Luochen. At this moment, Luochen revealed a surprised expression. Most importantly, he had to display an entanglement of love and hatred in addition to the helplessness and bashfulness a teen should have as if he returned to his former self. However, at this moment, Luochen was still ice-cold. He merely furrowed his brows, but his expression was clearly too stiff. Cut. The director threw the script in his hand. It's the 17th time. How many times do you want to film such a simple scene? Luochen, are you still able to act? If not, just get lost right now. Luochen and Meng Xiaoro's scenes hadn't been going smoothly these past few days, and today they continuously shot NG scenes for the entire day, so Song Jinlin finally exploded. Song Jinlin looked very gentle and intelligent usually, but once he started filming, he became very serious and was very harsh with his scolding. Luochen's face turned pale. Sorry, director, this is the last chance I'm giving you. We'll shoot other scenes first while you sort yourself out. If you NG once more, don't come back anymore. Back at the resting area, the actors in the resting area had been divided into various groups by Emperor Sky's Ling Xiaozhe. Seeing Luochen being scolded and criticized by the director the entire day, a few of the small artists around Ling Xiaozhe started gossiping. TSK, a new generation of idols? With this acting? He really knows how to boast, huh? Before, I thought his acting was really good, but as it turns out, he only knows how to act like he has facial paralysis. He messed up such a simple scene. Someone actually compared him to our Xiaozhe. I think those outsiders are blind. That's right, a has-been is precisely a has-been, he's better kept under the table. Hey, you guys, Luochen's assistant, Xiaoqing, was about to speak up, but Luochen shook his head lightly and stopped her. He was already used to this treatment and didn't want to cause trouble for Yi Ji. Furthermore, it was really his own problem. Chapter 661, Stirring Trouble on Purpose. Luochen balled up his fists and returned to his seat without a word. The moment he picked up the cup of coffee next to him, a female artist extended her leg to trip him and acted like it was accidental. The coffee in Luochen's hand swayed and spilled all over Ling Xiaozhe. Aya, why are you so careless? You dirted Xiaozhe's clothes, the female artist screamed while criticizing him. At the same time, she quickly took out a tissue pack and hopped over to Ling Xiaozhe to clean the stain around his chest. Ling Xiaozhe was a little bit of a clean freak, so he frowned instantly. Gross. Exactly, this trash. It's disgusting to be in the same production team as him. Hey, why are you still standing there? You should apologize to Xiaozhe, the female artist screeched. Xiaoqing couldn't take this anymore as she shielded Luochen like an old mother hen. Wan Shanshan, what's your problem? You were the one who stuck out your leg to trip our Luo Chen and caused his coffee to spill. You should be the one apologizing. Which eye of yours saw me tripping him? Did you guys see it? Wan Shanshan swept her gaze across the few surrounding artists. They immediately answered at the same time, no, no. Luo Chen spilled it himself. Luo Chen spilled his coffee on Ling Xiaozhe on purpose. Yes, 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 he's jealous, so he did it on purpose. This is too much. You, all of you. Venomous slanderers. Shao Qing was furious. After Ling Xiaozhe got famous, he loved acting like a big shot and bullying the newcomers, much less an old foe like Luo Chen. At this moment, he glanced at Luo Chen then said casually, "Don't call me a bully. It's fine if you don't apologize. This outfit cost $800,000, just pay for it and I'll forget this incident." Everyone was stunned when they heard the price of this outfit. Wow! That outfit was actually so expensive. Of course it was, this is a limited edition outfit by Brand H. There are only 10 sets in the world. Just a single diamond button costs $100,000. Shao Qing panicked when she heard how expensive this outfit was. But it's just a little dirty, can't you just wash it? Do you have to go to this extent? Wan Shanshan said in a high-pitched voice, "Wash it, are you kidding me? How can you simply wash an outfit like this? Even if it's just a little dirty, the entire outfit is ruined, okay? Forget it, a country bumpkin like you wouldn't understand." Luo Chen's face darkened and his fists were clenched. The pay he took home from the entire drama series wasn't even $1 million and he already spent it all on his mother's medical fees and surgery. Where could he find this amount of money? Why? You can't afford it. TSK, acting like you're so high class when you're broke. That's right. Just apologize. Why are you acting? Emperor Sky and Worldwide had always been on bad terms. Ling Xiaozhe and Luo Chen also had a long-standing feud, so these people were stirring up trouble on purpose. Before, they only had a bit of friction, but this time, after seeing Luo Chen being scolded by the director, they obviously had to seize the chance to insult him. Ling Xiaozhe was calm and unruffled as he looked at the dashing teen before him. He recalled how he was overshadowed by a supporting actor during Terrifying Dragon 1 and started fuming in his heart. What made him angrier was that once the news of Terrifying Dragon 2 was released, those comments started surfacing once again and everyone compared him to Luo Chen. Also, many said that Luo Chen's performance would be more spectacular in the second series. Chapter 662. I was wondering who was the one. Ling Xiaozhe was already an A-lister, yet he had to be overshadowed by a has-been artist. How could he swallow this injustice? Since Wan Shanshan was the one who started making trouble today, Ling Xiaozhe was obviously glad to play along. With his rank, the crew would stand on his side even if they knew the truth. They wouldn't bother protecting a has-been like Luo Chen who only managed to get the role of a supporting actor. You guys are such bullies, it was you guys who caused trouble first. Shao Qing was furious. Luo Chen stood there in silence. Even though he exploded in fame for a while before, he was nothing compared to an A-list artist like Ling Xiaozhe. With his current position and status, he didn't have the right to fight back, just an apology. Status in the entertainment industry was everything. This kind of bullying was very common, this was something he was very clear about. Moreover, Yi Ji might be arriving soon and he didn't want to cause any trouble for him. Luo Chen took a deep breath. Fine. I'll apologize, tisk, Ling Luo Chen scoffed. It's not enough if you just apologize, my shoes are dirty too but leather shoes won't get ruined if they're just a little dirty. Clean them up for me and it'll be fine. Ling Xiaozhe said in a generous tone. What did you say? Shao Jing raised her voice in anger. Luo Chen's face changed as well. Right as everyone's eyes were trained on this show, suddenly everybody, including Shao Qing, looked behind Luo Chen. Ah! Gong Su. Why would Gong Su come to the film set of Terrifying Dragon 2? Luo Chen felt a weight on his shoulders and a familiar voice entered his ears. Oh, I was wondering who was being a big shot here. So it's you, Ling Xiaozhe. Gong Su smiled and looked at Ling Xiaozhe, who was seated on a real leather chair. His pair of tiny canines appeared subtly and looked somewhat sinister. Gong Su, Luo Chen was surprised and turned to Gong Su, who had his arm draped around his shoulders intimately. When Ling Xiaozhe saw Gong Su, his face turned gloomy. What? Do you have something to say? If Luo Chen was considered to be his old foe, Gong Su could even be called his nemesis. The two of them had a similar acting trajectory and they were also in rival companies, so they often came into conflict. No, of course I don't. It's just that, Gong Su curled his lips and glanced at Luo Chen, then he suddenly took the cup of coffee from him. Then Gong Su walked over to Ling Xiaozhe with a wide grin and stood there. He held up the cup of coffee and in the next second, he poured the rest of the coffee on Ling Xiaozhe's pants without a single drop of coffee left in the cup. Gong Su. What are you doing? Ling Xiaozhe stood up instantly and roared. Even his crotch area was soaking wet. What am I doing? Gong Su raised his brows and extended his arm. The little assistant following behind him jogged over with a checkbook and pen. Gong Su wrote $800,000 on the check and slapped it on Ling Xiaozhe, then replied, "Now, this outfit belongs to me. Young master here is splashing coffee on my own outfit, is it any of your business? What are you yelling for?" Ling Xiaozhe's lungs nearly exploded in anger. What about me? Didn't you say we just had to pay up? Gong Su put on an innocent face. PFFF, Xiaoqing couldn't contain her laughter and she looked at Gong Su, starry-eyed. As for Luo Chen, he didn't expect that Gong Su, who had always opposed him, would actually stand up for him. He looked a little perplexed. Chapter 663, More Unreasonable and Bigger Bully, Dong Zai, Gong Su's amazing, isn't he? Xiaoqing asked with her starry-eyed face. HNG, let these unreasonable bullies take on an even more unreasonable and bigger bully. Gong Su's little assistant, is she praising or scolding him? However, on this rare occasion, the little assistant nodded his head in agreement. This was the first time he felt that this unreasonable artist was quite cool. Ling Xiaozhe was so mad that he was red in the face, but he couldn't do anything. He could easily oppress Luo Chen with money, but what could he do about Gong Su? Want to use money to deal with Gong Su? He could crush you to death with money. Gong Su acted like some great ancestor as he said, "What are you waiting for? Take it off. Is young master's outfit so comfortable, huh?" Ling Xiaozhe, Wan Shanshan was fuming mad. Gong Su, don't go too far. Several Emperor Sky's artists started to echo along. Gong Su, you're being unreasonable. You're too much, acting like a big shot here. Gong Su smiled, evidently in a good mood. Oh wow, so you guys also think I'm a bigger shot than your Ling Xiaozhe? Not bad, not bad. At least you guys have an idea of your own strength. Gong Su was extremely stubborn. This group of people had been talking for a long time, but they didn't get anything out of it and they were all angered by him. At this moment, Wan Shanshan's eyes lit up and she suddenly sneered as she took out a phone and played a clip. Gong Su, wait till I post this video on the internet, we'll see how you can still act so arrogantly then. She played the clip and it was a video recording starting from the part where Gong Su poured coffee all over Ling Xiaozhe. Seeing this, the faces of Luo Chen and the two assistants changed. That's despicable. They actually deliberately misrepresented what happened. Just as Luo Chen and the two assistants felt worried, Gong Su let out a laugh and acted as if he was looking at a bunch of fools. TSK, trying to threaten young master with this? I can be more arrogant than this, wanna try me? Seeing Gong Su's reaction, Wan Shanshan was dumbfounded and the smile on her face froze. This method might be effective on others, but using it to threaten Gong Su. This guy had so many issues that he wasn't even bothered by them anymore. As the saying went, a dead pig never fears boiling water. His reputation was already in this horrendous state. As if he would be afraid of this. Gong Su glanced at his assistant, Dong Zai, and said, "Go get me another cup of coffee. Young master here shall splash more and let you take your time to record it all. You want." Hearing that, the small-time artists from Emperor Sky didn't dare to make a sound. Ling Xiaozhe's face turned pale and he glared at Wan Shanshan unhappily. If it wasn't for this woman acting smart, he wouldn't be in this embarrassing state now. Wan Shanshan was in a dilemma. She didn't expect Gong Su would be so hard to handle. He was totally impervious to criticism and was so stubborn. Wan Shanshan realized she couldn't clean this mess up and felt helpless. Suddenly, she recalled rumors about Gong Su being afraid of his new manager, so she blurted out, "Gong Su, don't you dare. If your manager finds out, you'll see how you're going to answer for it." The second Wan Shanshan said that, Gong Su's face stiffened. Wan Shanshan was initially just trying her luck, but seeing Gong Su's reaction, she realized she found Gong Su's weak spot and suddenly felt overwhelmed with joy. "Ha ha ha, where did your arrogance go? Keep being arrogant. Continue. If you're not afraid of your manager finding out, continue making a ruckus." Chapter 664, Failed Threat. One thing Gong Su hated the most in life was being threatened by others, especially when it involved someone he cared about a lot. His eyes were like icy daggers shooting towards Wan Shanshan. "What? Scared? Don't you dare to do it anymore." Wan Shanshan was completely fearless. "Go apologize to our Xiaozhe right this moment. Otherwise, I'll have this video uploaded online. I'm afraid your manager will be extremely mad when he sees it." "Oh." Xiao Qing and Dong Zai started panicking. "What should we do? What should we do?" These people were ridiculous. They actually used Yi Ji to threaten Gong Su. Gong Su cared about Yi Ji's opinion the most. It was rare to see Gong Su so defeated, so Ling Xiaozhe was obviously elated. He sat there leisurely and said, "What's wrong? Young Master Gong doesn't seem very willing, huh?" "TSK, Gong Su, I didn't expect you'd face this embarrassment too." While the atmosphere turned stiff, from the corners of Dong Zai's eyes, he saw someone approaching them and he lit up as if he had just seen his savior. "Yi Ji. Yi Ji, you're here." Xiao Qing's face was filled with grief. Yi Wanwan swept her gaze through these people. "What's going on here?" Wan Shanshan crossed her arms and stood still as she said, "Great Manager Yi, you came just in time. Take good care of your artists. These two are lousy at acting but are experts in causing trouble." They were tyrannical, bullying the crew and acting like some big shots. Xiao Qing was extremely anxious as she quickly recounted the incident. "Yi Ji, it wasn't like this. They were the ones who started it. This woman tripped Luo Chen on purpose, which caused him to spill the coffee on Ling Xiaozhe's clothes. After that, they were so greedy and asked for a compensation of $800,000 and even forced Luo Chen to clean his shoes. Which eye of yours saw me tripping him? Don't accuse me." On the other hand, it was Gong Su who was acting like a big shot and splashing coffee on our Xiaozhe on purpose. "I have video evidence, alright." After listening to Xiao Qing and Shanshan, Yi Wanwan turned to Gong Su. "You poured coffee on Ling Xiaozhe on purpose?" Gong Su wasn't even half as arrogant as before. He was totally shocked after seeing Yi Wanwan and stood there nervously. What should I do? Yi Ji hates it when I make trouble." Wan Shanshan was delighted when she saw how petrified Gong Su was. She rushed forward and waved her phone in front of him. "Gong Su, your manager is watching. You better apologize obediently. Didn't think that the rumors were true. Gong Su really is afraid of this manager." Ling Xiaozhe had a smug look on his face as he sat there lazily and waited for Gong Su's apology. Luo Chen bit his lip. After all, everything started because of him, so he should be the one apologizing. Hence, he stepped forward and said, Yi, this has nothing to do with Gong Su. I was the one, Wan Shanshan sneered, you're included as well, don't worry. Obviously, you have to apologize too. Wan Shanshan looked in Yi Wanwan's direction. I will really upload this clip online if you don't get your artists to apologize. Oh. Great manager Yi, think carefully about the consequences. While the artists from Emperor Sky watched this good show and while Luo Chen and Gong Su were panicking, Yi Wanwan glanced at Wan Shanshan without any expression, then two words emerged from her thin lips, upload it. Wan Shanshan, Ling Xiaozhe, Luo Chen, Gong Su, the two of them, including Luo Chen and Gong Su, were dumbfounded, especially Gong Su. He lifted his head in disbelief and almost couldn't believe his own ears. Chapter 665, Young Master is fearless. Shouldn't Yi be making me apologize? Gong Su was already prepared to get scolded badly, but in the end, Yi Wanwan actually reacted this way instead. Not only did she not scold him, but she even rejected the other party's requests. Wan Shanshan flew into a rage. You, what did you say? Do you know how it can affect an artist if this clip is uploaded? How are you even a manager? I'll give you one more chance, be my guest. Yi Wanwan spat out these three words. Without a care for Wan Shanshan and the others, she turned to Gong Su and Luo Chen and said, come here, both of you. Yes, Luo Chen and Gong Su looked blankly at one another then quickly followed her. The two little assistants went along as well. Behind them, Wan Shanshan stomped her feet in anger. Darn it! What's the meaning of this? Does he really think I don't dare to upload it? I'll upload it this instant for him then. Wan Shanshan planned to send the video to Gossip Blogger at first, but in a fit of anger, she directly logged into her own account and uploaded it herself. In the makeup room, Gong Su hung his head low nervously and stood there thinking. I'm doomed, I'm doomed. Yi probably thinks we shouldn't air our dirty laundry in public, so he wants to diss me in private. Luo Chen and the two other assistants were worried too. Yi Wanwan sat on a chair and tilted her head to look at the uneasy Gong Su. Gong Su became even more nervous and wept. Yi, before he could finish, Yi Wanwan said, you did well just now. Gong Su was stunned. When he realized Yi Wanwan praised him, he almost didn't react to what he just heard. Yi, what did you say? Gong Su was in a daze. Dong Zai said excitedly, Suji, Yi praised you for what you did. Gong Su's eyes reddened instantly. He wailed and pounced into Yi Wanwan's embrace. Yi Wanwan was caught off guard and didn't expect a full-on collision. A certain someone was like a giant pug rubbing himself on her. Yi Wanwan was speechless. She quickly extended her arm and pulled him away by the collar. Stand properly. Oh, Gong Su straightened up but his face was still filled with gratitude. He blinked. Yi, why are you so soft? Yi Wanwan choked. Soft my ass. Fortunately, she managed to pull him away quickly. Otherwise, she might have blown her cover. I have to always be real careful around this fella. Yi Wanwan said, although the action of protecting your peer was commendable and courageous, it was also very foolish and rash. I've already reminded you countless times, I know. Yi, I'm so happy. This is the very first time you've praised me. Gong Su was fully basking in Yi Wanwan's praise. He obviously didn't listen to what she said after that. Yi Wanwan glanced speechlessly at the young man before her. If he had a tail, it would probably be wagging vigorously right now. Seeing that Yi Wanwan didn't blame Gong Su, Luo Chen and the two assistants heaved collective sighs of relief. Luo Chen was worried and asked, Yi, what should we do about the video Wan Shanshan secretly recorded? Before Yi Wanwan could reply, Gong Su, who had totally regained his arrogance, responded, PSH, stop worrying about nothing. Anyway, young master's reputation is already blackened, as if it could get any darker. As long as Yi Ji isn't mad at me, young master is fearless. Chapter 666, So cute. Yi Wanwan had a headache. She pinched her brows as she looked at Gong Su, who was completely unashamed of himself and was proud instead. I'll deal with this issue. You guys don't have to worry about it. Hearing this, Luo Chen's heart finally settled down. After all, this whole incident started because of him. After speaking, Yi Wanwan looked at Luo Chen sternly. Luo Chen, what's going on with your acting today? The director told me just now that you haven't been progressing smoothly these past 2 days. Luo Chen felt dejected and looked down. Yi Ji, I'm sorry. I've had some problems with the scene with Meng Xiaoro. I'm not great at emotional scenes and I've already tried practicing many times, but I just can't seem to get into character. Yi Wanwan pinched her brows. She had seen the NG footage while speaking to the director and they were pretty bad. Luo Chen had done a fair bit of homework on this series and Yi Wanwan thought there wouldn't be any problems, but who knew that an issue would arise at this point? For a young guy in his 20s, why would he have problems with emotional scenes? Since there was no need for him to display his true emotions, he shouldn't be this awkward. Gong Su mumbled, what a useless bum, can't even get such a simple scene right. The corners of Dong Zai's lips twitched. Suji, you better speak less at a time like this. How could you even criticize someone else's acting? Yi Wanwan pondered it for a long time while Luo Chen continued to stand in the same spot in silence. After some time, Yi Wanwan stood up, removed her coat and said, let's do this. Come here, we'll practice together. Practice? Luo Chen was taken aback. How are we going to do that? I'll act as Qingqing and you'll act along with me, Yi Wanwan instructed. Gong Su widened his eyes. Isn't Qingqing a woman? Yi Wanwan, yes, so what? Gong Su, Yi Ji, you're actually going to play the role of a woman? Yi Wanwan, you have a problem with that? No, not at all. Gong Su quickly waved his hands and began to do damage control. Yi Ji, whatever you say. Whatever you say. As Gong Su wasn't interested in acting at all, he sat down lazily on the sofa. Let's begin. Yi Wanwan took 2 steps and stood in front of Luo Chen. At this moment, Yi Wanwan had taken her coat off and was wearing a gray sweater with a white shirt underneath. Her light brown hair looked exceptionally soft. Alright, Luo Chen went blank for a second before reacting. Yi Wanwan shut her eyes. 1 second, 2 seconds. When she opened her eyes on the 3rd second, that cold and indifferent gaze had changed. So gentle and soft like spring water that could melt a person, it was as if he was her entire world and was everything she believed in. Ah Chen, the girl was shy, nervous and uneasy. She looked as if she would back out at any moment, but it also seemed like she could give her all and be brave for him. Finally, there was determination in her eyes as she said, I like you. Luo Chen heard a loud explosion in his head. His pale cheeks turned red gradually at a speed that could be seen by the human eye. He started burning up. He suddenly recalled the first time he confessed his feelings for a girl when he was 16, he was flustered, young and inexperienced. Nobody noticed that there was someone there with redder cheeks than Luo Chen. Gong Su was bored at first and was supporting his head with his hand, but when he saw Yi Bai playing the role of Qingqing and confessing her feelings for Lin Luo Chen, it felt like his entire body was on fire. Yi Bai is obviously a man and still looks the same. Even his voice is still manly, only his gaze and expression have changed, so why does it feel like he's completely transformed into another person? So cute. Chapter 667, Remember that feeling just now? Shit. Am I crazy? I actually found a guy cute. Am I gay? Gong Su quickly rubbed his face to wake himself up. However, when he thought about that scene just now, he was immediately immersed in pink bubbles. While Luo Chen, Gong Su, and the two assistants were amazed by the scene, Yi Wanwan had already returned to her usual cold self and nodded in satisfaction. Very good, this was much better. Just take note of your emotions and it'll be perfect. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door and one of the crew members, Xiao Chen, came with a reminder. Luo Chen, filming has started. Go on. Remember that feeling just now, Yi Wanwan reminded him. Okay, Luo Chen finally returned to his senses. He wasn't sure why, but he didn't dare to look straight at Yi Bai and he quickly left with his assistant. Let's go, we'll watch him together. Since you're here, take this chance to learn something, Yi Wanwan said to Gong Su. However, Gong Su stood rooted to the ground in a daze. What is it? Yi Wanwan tapped his shoulder. Gong Su jumped like he'd just gotten electrocuted. Yi Wanwan looked at him strangely. Gong Su swallowed and hurriedly said, "Ah. Nothing. I'm fine." Shit. This is crazy. Crazy. My heart actually skipped a beat for a man and I was enchanted. What's worse is that this guy is Yi Ji. I'm simply a beast. It must be because I haven't dated for so long. It must be. Shortly after, filming began. The crew chatted with one another like they didn't expect much from Luo Chen while a couple artists from Emperor Sky had smug looks and looked like they were waiting for a good show. The actress playing the role of Meng Xiaoro and Qingqing, Liang Yu, was also getting impatient. 3, 2, 1, action. In the woods, Meng Xiaoro raised her head shyly and made her confession. Ah. Chen. I like you. In the next second, the camera quickly switched to zoom in on Luo Chen's expression. In the recording, Lin Luo Chen was shocked at first before his expression became complex. He knew she was a disciple from his rival sect, yet he still couldn't hold back his feelings for her. This great devil, who already lost all human emotion and rejected love, finally revealed his young and inexperienced teenager self, revealing his true self. Song Jin Lin kept staring at the video recorder seriously and revealed a surprised look on his face. Then he came back to his senses and yelled, "Very good. Pass." Luo Chen heaved a sigh of relief and bowed to thank everyone. Thank you, director. Thank you, everyone. Sorry I caused so much inconvenience. No problem, no problem. Nobody is able to always be in top shape all the time. That's right, you did very well just now. Keep it up. Everyone encouraged him one after another. Yi Wanwan knew Luo Chen wasn't great at socializing, so she had been getting Xiao Qing to build a good relationship with the production crew. Although he kept getting NG these few days and caused everyone to feel quite frustrated, the crew's impression of Luo Chen wasn't that bad, so they didn't really mind his acting struggles. At this moment, Xiao Qing acted according to Yi Wanwan's instructions and tactfully said, "It's been hard on everyone, so Luo Chen will be treating us to a meal today. We've ordered takeaway from Jade Pavilion. We also have some small gifts, please accept them." With food and drinks, nobody had any complaints and they were all smiles as they gave their thanks. Wan Shanshan glared at Luo Chen and the others with gritted teeth. After that, as she saw that the Weibo post she uploaded was getting more and more shares and comments, she sneered, "This group of people is really dumb, huh? They have no idea what they're getting into. I don't believe they'll refuse to back down and apologize once pressure from public opinion weighs down on them." Chapter 668, A desire to marry him. Wan Shanshan turned to Ling Xiaozhe and tried to curry favor with him. "Xiaozhe, don't be mad. I'll get someone to make this post viral later. There are people who'll take revenge for you, just wait and see how everyone will curse Gong Su. Don't debase yourself by arguing with this useless, rich second-generation kid." Hearing this, Ling Xiaozhe's gloomy expression slowly turned gentler. Even though he was also a popular newbie, Gong Su's reputation and his was worlds apart. That rich second-generation kid would cause his own doom someday. While Xiao Qing was busy passing out gifts to the crew, Yi Wanwan walked up to Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen, try this medication. My girlfriend has the same issue as you, she's in extreme pain for those few days every month. She eventually found a very experienced, old Chinese doctor and he gave her this prescription. She said this is quite effective, so you should give it a try. Actually, Yi Wanwan got it from Sun Bai Chao. Legendary Dr. Sun's advice obviously wouldn't be off. Xiao Chen was a member of the stage management crew. She looked at the man's handsome face and her little face blushed. Ah, that's too nice of you. Thank you so much. Yi Wanwan said, it's nothing, don't mention it. Furthermore, I should be the one thanking you instead, thanks for taking care of Luo Chen. The stage management crew might seem like they were just in charge of doing odd jobs, but taking care of all the miscellaneous matters for the entire crew, mobilizing everybody, allocating tasks and taking care of daily affairs required them to be extremely vigilant and observant. For example, regarding what happened that day, Xiao Chen helped a lot. It's alright, I'm glad I was able to be of help to you. I just can't take it when they bully others. Xiao Chen said shyly before her eyes filled with regret. The first time she met Manager Yi was during the first shooting of this drama. She was in so much pain due to her period that she wished she was dead, but at that time, they were very busy and she couldn't leave at all. As a minor crew member, all she could do was try to tolerate the pain. Only Yi Bai noticed she was in pain and he discreetly sent his assistant to send her a warm pack, dark brown sugar water, and painkillers. He even asked his assistant to lighten her workload. At that moment, she only had one thought in her mind, a desire to marry him. Too bad an amazing guy like him already has a girlfriend. Not far off, Gong Su watched as the stage management crew member, Xiao Chen, was giggling and blushing with Yi Bai and he felt uneasy in his heart. She's just a small crew member, why does he have to be so nice to her? Really? If he's so free, why doesn't he come over and comfort me instead? Gong Su was whining when he heard footsteps approaching. Gong Su, Luo Chen walked up to Gong Su and stood there, hesitant to speak. Gong Su immediately transformed into a fighting rooster and entered battle mode. What? Just now, Luo Chen paused before he continued, thank you. Gong Su immediately waved him off and felt somewhat uncomfortable. Don't look at me with such a disgusting expression. I wasn't doing it for you. I know, but still, thank you, Luo Chen said earnestly. Yi Wanwan, what are you two talking about? Seeing that Yi Bai was walking over, Gong Su said eagerly, Yi Ji, when are you going to give me special attention and practice my lines with me? Yi Wanwan, you're not ready for that yet. Gong Su's little face collapsed in an instant. Is my acting really that bad? Chapter 669, very close, what do you think? You haven't even learned how to walk, yet you're already thinking of running? Yi Wanwan gave him side-eye. Have you gone through the script I gave you? Gong Su's eyes lit up brightly at the mention of the script. I've gone through it. Damn. It's awesome. That script was basically made just for me. The male lead is too handsome, isn't he? Handsome? He's just an ignorant and incompetent hedonistic son of rich parents. Yi Wanwan, glad you like it. Gong Su asked impatiently, Yi Ji, when are we going to start filming? I can't wait anymore. Yi Wanwan's eyes flashed with a faint light. Not so soon, you should focus on the rest of your assignments and the movie the company's arranged for you. The filming for this isn't urgent. Ah. Why? I want to film this first. Gong Su muttered. At first, Yi Wanwan wanted to pull investors in for this production. Since she was relying on the reputation of Worldwide, getting sponsors shouldn't be difficult. However, she recently received news that Chu Hongguang's nephew was secretly asking and paying attention to Dazzling Media. He had also been visiting Chu Hongguang's office frequently and had probably set his eyes on Dazzling. Since we shouldn't let one's own fertile water flow into others' fields, why can't I just fund this production myself? This was her greatest trump card, she couldn't let it be revealed so quickly. Yi Wanwan, we'll talk again once you practice your acting, not until it reaches an acceptable point. Even if she wanted to use her abilities to coax an artist into character, the artist still needed to have the skill and instinct first. It wasn't as if she could simply get any ordinary person to become great at acting all of a sudden, that was unrealistic. How could an apple tree produce an orange? It was the same logic. Gong Su's foundation was still too weak and giving him more time would be safer. All right then, Gong Su nodded obediently and glanced at Luo Chen, grinning. What's the big deal about getting some special attention, huh? Yi Ji custom made a new script just for me, hee hee. Are you going together with me and Luo Chen for the company gathering tonight, or do you have your own arrangements? Yi Wanwan asked. Gong Su replied immediately, together. Of course I'm going with Yi Ji. Those company gatherings used to be pointless and boring to him, he never attended any of them, but with Yi Ji, things were obviously different. Okay, let's go. Half an hour later, at the blues bar, there was already quite a crowd at the bar when they arrived, and when everyone saw Yi Wanwan, they went over to greet her one after another. Director Yi. Yi Ji, please sit here. Yi Wanwan nodded slightly, then sat in the middle of the sofa with Gong Su and Luo Chen flanking her left and right sides. Although she had taken over a number of artists, Luo Chen and Gong Su's statuses were different. Luo Chen was the first artist she personally groomed after all. Yi Wanwan had just sat down when her phone started ringing. It was Han Xianyu calling. Han Xianyu, hey Yi Bai, where are you? Yi Wanwan, blues bar, company gathering. What's up? Han Xianyu, what a coincidence. I'm just around the corner and have something I need to discuss with you. Is it convenient if I head over? Yi Wanwan, of course. You're more than welcome. Han Xianyu, tisk, alright then. Give me 5 minutes. Yi Wanwan, okay. Gong Su's ears had already perked up. Yi Ji, who was that? Han Xianyu, Yi Wanwan answered. Gong Su muttered, Yi Ji, you're very close to Xianyu Ji, huh? He has his own manager, so why does he keep going to you to discuss his issues? Chapter 670, Bring Me Wherever He Goes. The most annoying thing is that Han Xianyu likes to joke about asking Yi Ji to be his manager. Luo Chen is still alright, but Han Xianyu, I really can't compare to him. He knew clearly how much Yi Ji admired Han Xianyu. That guy was simply well-rounded and had an outrageously great reputation. If Yi Ji really is snatched away by Han Xianyu, what would happen to me then? PSSSST, while Yi Wanwan went out to fetch Han Xianyu, Gong Su made weird noises towards Luo Chen. Blockhead, come here. Luo Chen shot a suspicious look over. Gong Su pulled him and whispered in his ear, Han Xianyu is so attentive towards Yi Ji. Do you think he wants to poach him? Luo Chen furrowed his brows. They're just friends. Why are you so naive? Someday, when Yi Ji abandons you, I'll see what you're going to do. Gong Su tried pulling him in as an ally. An enemy's enemy is your friend, right? Luo Chen's face turned stern. Yi Ji wouldn't do that. Gong Su, who are you to think he won't? Do you think you can compete with Han Xianyu? Luo Chen, Yi Ji promised me before, as long as I'm willing to follow him, he'll bring me wherever he goes. Gong Su was stunned. It was as if there was a sudden thunderbolt on a clear day. Yi Ji actually made such a promise to Luo Chen. Ah. Huh, Gong Su. Congratulations, you're famous again. Gong Su was still in shock as Tang Xinghua laughed and sat his butt down on the seat next to Gong Su. After Wan Shanshan posted that video on Weibo, there was no need to even try to popularize the post or get the Internet Water Army, involved. The moment she posted it, the number of shares and comments continually increased. Ling Xiaozhe's fans were the first to arrive at the battlefield, coupled with a few passers-by who couldn't stand the sight of the perceived abuse. The harsh words immediately converged into a vast ocean. The battlefield of scolding Gong Su was always so massive, it was practically one of the spectacular wonders of the entertainment industry. When it came to people who were universally hated, he was the only one in the entertainment industry who was. Wan Shanshan, initially, I wanted to keep the peace, but some people are simply intolerable bullies. Video, there were countless scoldings under the Weibo post. Damn! This is infuriating. Why does an idiot like him exist? Brainless prank. Why is someone who uses money to crush people still able to appear in front of the public? The society is corrupted because of such people. Apologize. Apologize to Ling Xiaozhe. Good job, Shanshan. You should expose such people. Don't worry, we're all on your side. Gong Su, take your brainless fans and get out of the entertainment industry. Are you joking? This fool, Gong Su, has fans? Isn't he famous only because of the trouble he gets into? Seeing the earth-shattering condemnation and curses online, Tang Xinghua clicked his tongue. TSK, you're a true main tanker. Hatred for you is off the charts. Every time the public scolds you, they make a concerted effort to attack you in sync, yeah. The others in the private room had also seen the Weibo video Wan Shanshan posted and were talking about it. Everyone knew Gong Su didn't care about such things, so they just mocked him casually. Suji, you're amazing. Each time there's something posted about you, it's always ranked number 1 on the popularity board. Is Wan Shanshan crazy or something? It's between Gong Su and Ling Xiaozhe, so why is she meddling? It must be to curry favor, eh? Gong Su, don't bother with someone like her. Gong Su sneered. Who is she anyway? Why should I care? However, Gong Su was still a little worried and he glanced in Yi Wanwan's direction. Seeing that she was still speaking to Han Xianyu normally and didn't seem mad at all, he was relieved. But at the same time, there was a sense of loss he had never felt before. If it was Luo Chen who was receiving comments like that, Yi Ji would have already done some PR long ago, but now that it was his turn to be condemned. Yi Ji didn't seem to have the slightest reaction at all. Chapter 671, Little Dimple, your father. What exactly am I to Yi Ji? Does he think of me as his own artist? Or is Yi Ji just doing it for show and he's treating me like a playboy? Is that why he never spends any time or money on me? Hell, what is he even thinking? Gong Su entered showbiz only for fun and didn't really intend to work in this field forever. He also got close to Yi Bai only for the sake of having a chance with Little Candied Plum. That's right, I did it for Little Candied Plum. Gong Su stopped his mind from running wild and tried his best to convince himself. However, why have I been thinking about such ridiculous things every day instead of my Little Candied Plum? I don't even remember how long it's been since I thought about her. In the private room, everyone was singing their hearts out. A female artist walked over to Yi Bai eagerly and insisted on singing a duet called Little Dimple with him. Irritated, Gong Su filled a wine glass to the brim and downed it. Little Dimple. Little Dimple, your father. Tang Xinghua gave him a strange look. She just wants to sing Little Dimple with Yi Bai, why are you mad? Gong Su, mind your own business. Tang Xinghua, Gong Su's mood was erratic and he seemed to be annoyed at everyone. Yi Wanwan's principle was to keep a certain distance from all the artists. Since she was disguised as a man, she wanted to try her best to avoid arousing suspicion, especially with female artists, so she turned the female artist down gracefully. However, at this moment, the atmosphere was lively and nobody was willing to let Yi Wanwan off. They started cheering, Yi Ji, just sing one song. Just one will do. What song do you like? You can sing any other songs too. Yu Wanwan couldn't change their minds, so she simply picked a song then called out to Luo Chen, who hadn't spoken the entire night. Luo Chen, I remember you like this song too. How about we sing it together, huh? This kid is way too introverted, he's so quiet even at our own company's gathering. Luo Chen's eyes glistened slightly and he felt somewhat flattered. He didn't expect Yu Wanwan would remember, so he nodded and went over. The two of them picked up the microphones. Yu Wanwan was the first to sing. Boil a bowl of soup to remove heat from the blood, bitterness enters the hero's bones, the flashes and shadows of swords, drifting along the world of the living. Luo Chen quickly followed, truth, no pressing, no stopping, no turning around, enemies meet on a narrow path, there's no return trip, no one asking who's waiting. Yu Wanwan, when I tear apart this universe of morning and twilight, a ray of light rotates around the smoke and dust, I'll drink the most intense wine, fall in love with the most beautiful person and watch the tall waves of the vast ocean. The youth's low voice was clear and melodious. He leaned against the sofa comfortably with a languid posture, and the gleam in his eyes sparkled like dazzling stars in the galaxy. They were in a private room at a bar, yet it felt as if they were transported to a bamboo forest. Luo Chen was stunned for a while and missed a beat before resuming. One said the most fearless people come from the country, bribing me with wine, overturning mountains and rivers. The heavens split and earth sinks, and I'll support this universe with my entire life. Everybody in the room applauded when they were done singing. Awesome, awesome. A gold medal duo, indeed. They're so in sync. Gong Su staggered onto the platform and declared, get lost. I want to pick a song. He wanted to dedicate a song to his little candied plum. Everyone quickly made way for him. Oh, Suji, go ahead and choose. Gong Su picked a song, then he sat on a high stool and sang in a drunken manner. I want you by my side, I want to see you dressing up, this blowing night wind tickles my heart, my lady, time is too long, my lady, where are you? It will be dawn soon, this night is to blame, it stimulates one's craziness. I want to sing and think of you, my lady. Listening to this, every single person in the room looked at each other, confused. What's with Gong Su? This isn't his style. Is he heartbroken? Heartbroken? Are you kidding me? How could Gong Su be heartbroken? That's true. After Gong Su was done, he held up the microphone and staggered over to Yu Wanwan. He then said seriously, Yi Ji, sing with me. Let's sing Little Dimple. Yu Wanwan, Tang Xinghua stared at Gong Su's face and rubbed his chin thoughtfully. His sharp senses told him there was something wrong with this fella. Something wrong, with the way he looked at Yi Bai. Tang Xinghua rolled his eyes and said, where's the fun in singing? Come on, let's play some games. How about truth or dare? Chapter 672, You Might Be Gay, You Know That? Tang Xinghua's suggestion received approval from everyone and they quickly gathered around. I'm not playing. I want to sing. Gong Su insisted on singing Little Dimple with Yu Wanwan. Tang Xinghua was speechless. When that girl wanted to sing with Yi Bai just now, this guy cursed the song and said, Little Dimple your father, but now he wants to sing it. Yi Ji. Sing together with me. I want to sing Little Dimple. Yu Wanwan, I don't know how. Gong Su suddenly looked as if he was suffering an injustice. Liar. You sang with this dork and not me. Yu Wanwan looked disapprovingly at Gong Su's drunken state and snatched the glass of wine from his hand. She pulled out a piece of candy to help him sober up and stuffed it into his mouth. Gong Su, what? Yu Wanwan, a sober-up candy. Yummy. Gong Su's eyes glistened. His complaining immediately stopped and he turned to Tang Xinghua. Tang Xinghua, what game did you mention just now? Let's play, let's play. Tang Xinghua looked strangely at Gong Su who was completely pacified by a piece of candy. Bro, you might be gay, you know that? Immediately after, everyone started playing Truth or Dare. Tang Xinghua was an expert and was the first to pick the king, so he randomly chose Gong Su. Ah haha, Gong Su, truth or dare? Tang Xinghua waved the card in his hand excitedly. Gong Su was in a good mood as he ate the candy. Truth. Tang Xinghua's eyes shifted slightly. He rubbed his chin and said slowly, Gong Su, let me ask you a very serious question. You must answer me seriously. And it has to be the truth. What's the question? Gong Su grew impatient as Tang Xinghua tried to create suspense. There's no game I can't afford to play. Tang Xinghua stared at him for a while before asking softly, do you like men? Hearing this question, everyone jeered. Tang Xinghua, what kind of question is this? You're actually doubtful of Gong Su's sexual orientation. Gong Su's face was as black as the underside of a pot. Tang Xinghua, are you an idiot? Tang Xinghua persevered and continued probing, you haven't answered my question. Gong Su glared at him. What nonsense. Young master here likes beauties with long legs and delicate skin, understand? Tang Xinghua, do you have a crush on me, huh? Tang Xinghua, cough. You're overthinking. To avoid making it look too obvious, Tang Xinghua purposely waited until everyone played a few rounds before he finally found the right chance to pick Yi Wanwan. Tang Xinghua stared at Yi Bai's stunning face that could attract both men and women. This face of Yi Bai's is really dangerous. Before Tang Xinghua could speak, Yi Wanwan made her choice, truth. Although choosing truth was also pretty risky to her, dare would be worse. This group of people could get very wild and go to the extreme when it came to games. It was exactly what Tang Xinghua wanted Yi Wanwan to choose. Thus, he rubbed his hands together and asked, just perfect. Yi Ji, I really want to ask you this question. What is it? Yi Wanwan responded casually. Tang Xinghua glanced at Gong Su first and rubbed his chin before he asked unhurriedly, there are so many good-looking men here today. If you have to pick a gay partner, who would you choose? Yi Wanwan, seriously, what kind of question is this? Chapter 673, Who exactly do you choose? What on earth does he want by asking me to choose a gay partner? This question reached a whole new level for Yi Wanwan. Luo Chen's reaction was definitely the most dramatic, he was completely stunned. Seated next to Yi Wanwan was Han Xianyu, whose glass paused in midair while Gong Su had his eyes fixed on Yi Wanwan without even blinking. Tang Xinghua giggled despicably, it was as if he wished for the world to be in chaos and he specifically emphasized, Yi Ji, you must choose someone who's present here today, oh. Everyone cheered and a very bold and unrestrained teen idol cast a coquettish glance towards Yi Wanwan. Yi Ji, pick me, pick me. Move aside. I think Yi Ji prefers guys like me. Seeing that the guys were hitting on Yi Bai, the girls couldn't hold it in anymore. Damn it. Do you guys have any class at all? Also, why must it only be guys, huh? Exactly. Tang Xinghua, what are you trying to do? Why can't you ask him to choose a girl in this room to be his girlfriend? This is unfair. Tang Xinghua put on an innocent look and shrugged when the girls started to complain. If you girls want to ask this question, ask him yourselves later. But I have to remind all of you that our Yi Ji is attached, so please don't have any ideas. When the girls heard what Tang Xinghua said, they instantly howled in grief. What? Yi Ji already has a girlfriend? Let's get to the main point. Yi Ji, you still have to answer my question. Quick, pick someone, pick someone. Tang Xinghua urged eagerly. Yi Wanwan was helpless with so many eyes on her and she replied plainly, I don't do gays. Tang Xinghua giggled. I know. That's why I said, if. If you're not going to answer the question, you'll be punished by having to drink 3 glasses. Oh. What's up with Tang Xinghua tonight? Yi Wanwan pinched her brows as her head started throbbing. She swept her gaze across the room and tried looking for someone appropriate. Although Tang Xinghua was just joking, it was still a sensitive topic, and as a manager, she couldn't simply choose someone she wasn't familiar with, otherwise, things would definitely get awkward. However, of all the people she was familiar with, this meant her choices were very limited. She really didn't know many people other than the ones she worked with. Only Luo Chen, Gong Su, Han Xianyu were the more familiar ones compared to the others. Luo Chen. Yu Wanwan didn't even have to consider him and immediately eliminated him. Luo Chen was acutely aware that Yu Wanwan's gaze brushed over him very quickly. His shoulders relaxed, but he still couldn't help looking towards Yu Wanwan. Yu Wanwan continued deliberating. If I can't pick Luo Chen, what about Gong Su? This guy has no moral principles at all, so it should be fine. At this moment, everyone was anticipating Yu Wanwan's choice. When Gong Su realized Yu Wanwan's eyes were on him, his entire body stiffened. He straightened his back involuntarily and his heart beat faster and faster. His temperature started rising in areas her gaze landed on, and his entire being felt as if it was cooking in boiling water. Ah. Is Yi Ji going to pick me? No way, no way. Chapter 674, Extremely Honored but no way, no way. He's a straight guy, eh. If Yi Ji really chooses me, how am I going to choose? Gong Su fell into a giant dilemma. Some fujoshis in the private room were so stirred up that their blood was boiling. Who will Yi Ji choose? Oh my god. This is too exciting. I vote for Luo Chen. Luo Chen is the first artist Yi Ji groomed, they're a power couple. They're a great match. No, you're too shallow. Gong Su and Yi Ji are a better match, alright? Gong Su is as obedient as a little lamb in front of Yi Ji. So sweet. Oh, please. Are you girls new here? Don't you know the situation now? Do you understand the meaning of first come, first served? Han Xianyu was the very first person who got close to Yi Ji. These two are, without a doubt, the perfect match, okay? Other than Han Xianyu, I won't accept any other person pairing up with my Yi Ji. Are none of you going to vote for Yi Ji and Tang Xinghua together? Yu Wanwan didn't know so many people were already secretly fantasizing about her. After some serious deliberation, she decided to eliminate Gong Su as well. Forget it. Gong Su and Luo Chen were both artists under her wing, it was better not to create such scandals with her own artists. Thus, there was only one candidate left, Han Xianyu. Furthermore, choosing Han Xianyu was indeed the safest choice. Yu Wanwan thought it over and over again before she finally made up her mind. Under everyone's eager gazes, she said, Han Xianyu. There was total silence in the private room for a second, then everyone started howling, oh, especially a few of the fujoshis. Ah. I knew it. My Yi Ji is faithful to the death, he won't get distracted by others. The Baiyu coupling can't be shaken. Ugh, why is it Han Xianyu? They really are quite compatible though. In contrast to the people watching the fun in the room, Han Xianyu was a little taken aback when he heard Yi Bai's answer. His hand holding the glass of wine froze and the warmth in his eyes flashed unnoticeably. Although he could roughly guess why Yi Bai chose him, he still felt as if he had reached another level of closeness with him after hearing his answer. Luo Chen lowered his eyes and clenched his fists. The person Yi Ji was closest to was still Han Xianyu, but this was also expected. Everyone knew how close Yi Ji and Han Xianyu were, their relationship wasn't something that could be compared with other people. Tang Xinghua glanced sympathetically towards Gong Su. This guy didn't explode in fury right away. Instead, he sat there in silence with his face hidden in the shadows. I wonder what's on his mind. Ahaha, Yu Ji, do you have any thoughts about Yi Ji wanting to have sexual relations with you? Tang Xinghua teased. Han Xianyu glanced at the youth next to him. He furrowed his brows and answered calmly, I'm extremely honored. Ow ow ow, cheers resounded in the room once again. As Yi Wanwan and Han Xianyu were very close, and the two of them were also very open-minded, everyone was just joking and didn't think much of it. But there were some people who thought otherwise. At this moment in the corner, Gong Su clutched his chest with one hand and broke out in a cold sweat. Darn it. What is going on? It's just a game. Wen Yibai looked away from me. When Yibai's eyes landed on Han Xianyu, when Han Xianyu's name left his lips, why did I have this terrible feeling in my heart? Chapter 675, Played to Death. Gong Su's heart hurt so much that it felt like he couldn't breathe. The fury he felt was as though his blood was set on fire and he almost lost control of himself. That feeling of wanting to. Gong Su muttered a curse with a darkened expression and he shot daggers with his eyes as he looked in Tang Xinghua's direction. Tang Xinghua felt a chill down his spine and he lowered his head instinctively. The truth or dare game was still ongoing. Gong Su pulled out a card without any expression on his face. King. Gong Su stared at Tang Xinghua. Truth or dare? Tang Xinghua was slightly creeped out by Gong Su's stare. Dare. No, truth. Playing with Gong Su, he didn't dare to choose dare. Truth, huh? Gong Su revealed half his little sharp canines. He curled his lips and looked unusually threatening as he said, sure. My question is, if your girlfriend and your best friend, which is me, switched our souls and you had to stab one of us in order for our souls to switch back, who would you choose to stab? Tang Xinghua was stunned and after a moment, he immediately cursed. Fuck. This question is practically giving my life away, alright? I would rather die. Hearing Gong Su's question, the entire room filled with laughter. Ha 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 ha, this question. Gong Su, you're too hilarious. Indeed, Su Jiyi's questions are always a killer. Su Jiyi has gone crazy. While they were playing the game earlier, Gong Su ate a sweet candy and kept smiling. He didn't have any murderous aura, but now he suddenly exploded. One had to understand that Gong Su was an expert in playing truth or dare. If he wanted to mess with someone, that person would definitely be played to death. Tang Xinghua looked as if he was mourning at this mother's funeral. Gong Su, you got me. I'll drink. With that, he downed 3 large glasses as punishment. Gong Su sat there casually and said, okay, let's continue. Tang Xinghua choked and had a bad feeling. His premonition proved to be right. Gong Su got to be the king again and picked him. Gong Su, truth or dare? Tang Xinghua's eyes were spinning. Although choosing truth would be very miserable, dare would be worse for sure. Truth. Tang Xinghua gritted his teeth. Gong Su nodded then asked, if your girlfriend and your best friend switched their souls, why this question again? Tang Xinghua broke down. Don't be so agitated. Gong Su glanced sideways at him and continued, if your girlfriend and your best friend switched souls and you had to choose one of them to have sex with, who would it be? Tang Xinghua, Gong Xiao XU. Damn you. Gong Su grinned while flashing his little canines. Why would you ask such retarded questions? Tang Xinghua was on the verge of crying from the questions. Tang Xinghua had no choice. He really couldn't answer this question, so he could only drink the 3 glasses again. After downing a total of 6 glasses, he almost puked. The game continued and the king was Gong Su once again. Everyone turned to Tang Xinghua instinctively and although they didn't know the reason, everybody could tell there was some conflict between them and Gong Su wouldn't let Tang Xinghua off so easily. Tang Xinghua cried regretfully, if he had known this would happen, he wouldn't have courted death and caused trouble. But bro. It's none of my business that someone doesn't want to engage in BL1 with you. If you want to take out your anger on someone, it shouldn't be me, right? Chapter 676, He Needs a Beating, That's All, Truth or Dare. Gong Su's words sounded like the devil's music. Tang Xinghua howled in grief and scurried away. Bro, Su Ji, Great Master Gong, please take the chance to ask Yi Ji questions. That's right, go ask Yi Ji something, isn't that better? Why waste your chances on me, eh? Gong Su paused when he heard that. He then turned to Yuan Wan. Tang Xinghua was right, truth or dare was indeed a very good opportunity. He would be able to dig up some information about little Candied Plum. Actually, he should have thought about this way earlier. But right now, what was he doing? Truth or dare? Gong Su repeated. His expression was more sinister. Tang Xinghua had never seen Gong Su acting so terrifying before. He swallowed and ran towards Yuan Wan. Yi Ji, save me. Tang Xinghua had just taken a step forward when Gong Su grabbed the back of his collar. You're still trying to escape, huh? Lighter, lighter, lighter. Tang Xinghua nearly suffocated. Yuan Wan looked at Gong Su crazily dissing Tang Xinghua out of the blue. She pinched her brows helplessly and stood up, then grabbed Gong Su by the wrist. Alright, just what is going on? The moment Yuan Wan's fair and soft fingers wrapped around his wrist, Gong Su stiffened up and let go of Tang Xinghua instantly, like his hand was just scalded. Phew! I was saved. Tang Xinghua hurriedly took the chance to duck and fled in his drunken stupor. What did he do to provoke you? Yuan Wan asked. Gong Su looked down and didn't say a word. The youth's breath and his lingering touch on his wrist made his heart distraught and his mind was in turmoil. He needs a beating, that's all, Gong Su replied before he turned around and left the private room. Yuan Wan watched as Gong Su left and revealed a suspicious look. Gong Su doesn't seem quite right. Yuan Wan was deep in thought when her phone rang. It was a message from Si Han. Are you done? Yuan Wan's eyes turned gentler and she typed her reply, soon, about half an hour more. I'm dealing with something nearby. Si Han sent this last message and didn't send any more. Seeing this message, Yuan Wan was a little speechless. I'm dealing with something nearby, I'll come pick you up later, can't he just complete the sentence properly? Yuan Wan felt like she was trained to read minds now. Forget it, girlfriends are meant to be spoiled. Even though Yuan Wan was scolding him in her heart, she still replied to him, let's go home together later, alright? Si Han replied within seconds. Seeing that reply, Yuan Wan giggled. Next to her, Han Xian Yu looked at her, startled. The youth's clear eyes were fixed on his phone screen and he had an unextinguishable warmth. Is he texting his girlfriend? In the meantime, at the entrance of the washroom. Bang! Tang Xinghua was planning to sneak off but was held back by Gong Su in the end. Gong Su punched the wall behind him and blocked his way. Tang Xinghua was so remorseful that his intestines were turning green. My ancestor, what exactly do you want? Gong Su remained silent. He stared at Tang Xinghua until his legs began trembling. Damn it, this guy isn't planning to silence me, is he? This is terrifying. Just as Tang Xinghua didn't dare to breathe, Gong Su moved closer to him without any warning and kissed him. Kissed him. Chapter 677, Prove He's Straight. Tang Xinghua felt as if he just got struck by lightning. What the hell, shit. Gong Su, you bastard. Have you lost your mind? My virginity. Gong Su, go to hell. Tang Xinghua rubbed his lips like crazy. However, Gong Su's reaction was even bigger than Tang Xinghua's. He pushed him away harshly, nearly causing him to fall, and he started splashing running water all over his face. He looked utterly disgusted. Fuck. That was gross. Tang Xinghua blew up when he heard that. Damn it. You feel grossed out? I'm the one who is grossed out. You forced a kiss on me and called me gross, are you kidding me? Shiti. Gong Su turned the tap to its highest and directly placed his entire head under the cold running water. Tang Xinghua saw Gong Su's reaction. He spat then said weakly, Gong Su, have you really turned gay? Gong Su raised his head slowly. His hair was dripping wet and he glared sternly at Tang Xinghua as he said, What, did you just say? Gay? No, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Nothing at all. You heard wrong. You're so disgusted just by this little kiss, so how could you be gay, ha ha ha, Tang Xinghua waved repeatedly. You must be straight, your sexual orientation is the straightest. Damn, I'm dead, I accidentally blurted it out. With Gong Su's current mood, I can't let him know I've already discovered he might be gay. Thankfully, Gong Su's expression became much calmer when he heard this cover-up. Thank God. After a moment of silence, Gong Su said, Then what about him? Ah. Him. Who? Tang Xinghua didn't get it. Gong Su swept his eyes over Tang Xinghua, annoyed. Yi Bai, does he like men or women? When Tang Xinghua heard his question, he replied carefully, Well, how would I know? Ah, Tang Xinghua grumbled softly, I already told you to take the chance to ask Yi Bai, but you didn't listen to me and insisted on dissing me. Was it worth it, huh? Gong Su glared dangerously at him. Tang Xinghua cowered in terror and answered seriously, Doesn't Yi Bai have a girlfriend? So, he should like women, right? Then what's going on between him and Han Xianyu? Gong Su's expression turned icy at the mention of Han Xianyu as he recalled Yi Wanwan's answer earlier. The beads of water on his face froze and there was a blazing fire in his eyes. As if Tang Xinghua would dare to provoke him at this time. He could only use his instincts to placate him and he said firmly, Oh, please. Of course he was just joking. Can't you tell that Yi Bai chose Han Xianyu intentionally? It was to avoid gossip. After all, everyone present today was either part of Dazzling's staff or artists under his care. It'd be bad if scandals or unspoken rules spread around. Listening to Tang Xinghua's argument for Yi Bai not liking Han Xianyu made the irritation in Gong Su's heart ease up, but when he thought about how Tang Xinghua said Yi Bai had a girlfriend and liked women, the feeling came back. Damn it. Gong Su was akin to a short-tempered lion at this moment. Tang Xinghua shrunk into the corner like a mistreated daughter-in-law, afraid Gong Su would try to prove he was straight and pounce on him again. Damn, my poor virginity. Just who did I piss off? Chapter 678, Try kissing. After the gathering ended, everyone said their goodbyes at the exit and left. Han Xianyu, Yi Bai, how are you getting back? My friend is nearby, he'll pick me up along the way, Yi Wanwan replied. Luo Chen, Gong Su, Han Xianyu, and Tang Xinghua were all waiting for their rides. Han Xianyu was tilting his head slightly while talking to Yi Wanwan and Luo Chen was on the phone with his assistant, while Gong Su, who usually liked to be close to Yi Wanwan, was standing quite a few steps behind. Tang Xinghua's eyes swept across Yi Bai, Luo Chen, Han Xianyu and Gong Su. The burning curiosity in him was unbearable. He felt like something was going on but he couldn't seem to find anything. Gong Su walked up to Han Xianyu and called him aside. Xianyu Ji, I have a question I want to ask you. Gong Su looked firmly at the man before him. What is it? Han Xianyu asked. Gong Su, Yi Ji has a girlfriend, right? Han Xianyu nodded. That's right. I heard she's beautiful, although I haven't seen her in person. Gong Su furrowed his brows. Are you sure he likes women? Han Xianyu burst into laughter when he heard his question and replied helplessly, Of course. What are you thinking? It can't be because of the joke just now, right? I need to put this out there, your Yi Ji and I are innocent. Seeing Han Xianyu acting so honest and open, Gong Su went silent. After some time, Gong Su hopped over to Luo Chen. Come here. I have something to ask you. What is it? Luo Chen knitted his brows slightly. I told you to come over, so just come, okay? Stop whining like a girl. Gong Su dragged him away forcefully like a pirate. Luo Chen, what's the matter? Let me ask you, does Yi Ji have a girlfriend? Gong Su asked him the same question. Yes, why? Luo Chen was confused. Are you sure Yi Ji likes women? Gong Su continued probing persistently. Gong Su didn't know exactly why he had to keep asking this question, and he also had no idea what answer he wanted to hear. Luo Chen frowned and said unhappily, what nonsense are you talking about? Yi Ji obviously likes women. Gong Su pursed his lips and finally stopped talking. He assumed he was overthinking as well. I must be drunk, that's why I'm acting so weird. I am straight and so is Yi Ji. Yes, that must be it. Gong Su. At this moment, Yuan Wan was walking towards Gong Su. Alas, when the youth stood in front of him, Gong Su's heart started palpitating once again and his blood was boiling. Gong Su clutched his chest firmly. Damn! Why am I jumping around frantically like a little deer in front of a man? What's the matter? Yuan Wan asked. Nothing. Yi Ji, you were looking for me. Gong Su finally calmed down, but his eyes were still avoiding Yi Bai. What's up with your hair? Yuan Wan asked. Gong Su's hair was soaking wet. Even his lapel had a wet patch. Tang Xinghua was hiding in a corner with tears covering his face. This is evidence, it's evidence. Evidence that he violated me. Nothing. I spilled something on myself, so I went to wash it, Gong Su replied. He appeared like he wanted to speak, but he kept quiet in the end. His conflicting expressions almost turned twisted. Ugh. Still jumping, huh? Jump, 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 quit jumping. What's wrong with me? Why is it whenever I see or speak to Yi Ji, something feels wrong with me, my heart rate increases, my body heats up and my 6 vital organs fail to function? Chapter 679, The Real Love Rival. It was a cold and drizzly night, similar to how Gong Su was feeling. He realized this feeling was as if he was falling passionately in love. With that thought, his blood ran cold and he couldn't help but feel horrified by his own thoughts. Shit, falling in love? That's nuts. I fell in love with a man. But I haven't been in love before and am just an inexperienced young guy. Gong Su didn't understand why he was reacting this way, which was why he was terrified. No way, I'll go crazy if this goes on. Should I try kissing Yi Ji? If it's as disgusting as kissing Tang Xinghua, it'll put my mind at ease for sure. Gong Su had these nonsensical thoughts in his mind when Yuan Wan asked, You want to ask me about little candied plum, don't you? Ah. What? At this moment, Gong Su had long forgotten about little candied plum. Yuan Wan felt that something really wasn't right with Gong Su tonight, so she looked at Gong Su suspiciously. Sensing Yuan Wan's stare, Gong Su became increasingly anxious. All of a sudden, Yuan Wan saw a black car approaching from the corners of her eyes and it slowly stopped by the side of the road. It was Si Yihan's car. Yuan Wan then looked away from Gong Su and turned in the other direction. The car door opened and a long leg emerged slowly, followed by a tall, cold figure. He made his way towards the dazzling lights of the bar from the dark and quiet night. Step by step, he walked to Yuan Wan and stood there. Han Xianyu's eyes constricted instantly when he saw him. The friend Yi Bai mentioned just now was actually 9th C. Mr. C, we meet again. Han Xianyu greeted him. Si Han looked indifferently at Han Xianyu and replied with a slight nod. Although Luo Chen had only met Si Han once, he had a deep impression of him. Previously, Si Han kissed Yi Bai right in front of him and Han Xianyu. He was beyond terrified at that point in time. Seeing that Si Han had arrived, Yi Wanwan waved. Xianyu, my friend is here. I'll take my leave first. Sure, take care. Luo Chen, is Shao Qing here yet? Yi Wanwan looked at Luo Chen. Luo Chen, in 5 minutes' time. All right. Yi Wanwan nodded and turned to Gong Su. Gong Su, wait for the driver to come, you drank, so don't drive yourself. Oh, Gong Su looked at the man next to Yi Wanwan, distracted. Who is that guy? He didn't know what was going on with him, that guy was just a stranger, yet he felt repulsed and guarded against him. He felt very threatening. Tang Xinghua, who had been trying to make his presence undetected, couldn't hold back and said, who is this guy, eh? He has such a strong aura around him. After Yi Wanwan bid farewell to Han Xianyu and the others, she walked in the direction of the car together with Si Han. The night was quite chilly, which caused Yi Wanwan to sneeze violently on the way to the car. Next to her, Si Han frowned and stopped in his tracks. He removed the big black coat he was wearing and placed it gently around Yi Wanwan's shoulders. Having the warm coat wrapped around her body, Yi Wanwan immediately felt much better. Yi Wanwan was stunned, then exclaimed anxiously, eh? You don't have to give it to me. What if you catch a cold? It would be a big deal if Si Han caught a cold, and also, she was disguised as a man right now. When Si Han saw that Yi Wanwan wanted to return the coat to him, he suddenly grabbed hold of her hand. Feeling her ice-cold fingers, Si Han knitted his brows further and directly placed her little palm on his warm chest. Chapter 680, You Two Big Fat Liars. After seeing this scene, Gong Su felt as if he was struck by lightning and looked as if he wanted to lodge a complaint as he glared at Han Xianyu and Luo Chen. Liars. You two big fat liars. You guys teamed up to lie to me. Didn't the two of you say that Yi Ji liked women? Then tell me. Tell me what this situation is. What is it? Why is there a wild man coming out of nowhere? Yi Wanwan naturally noticed their reactions, but after she considered the outcome if she retracted her hand at this moment, she decided to go with the wiser decision of not moving. Yi Wanwan glanced at Luo Chen, Gong Su, and the others from the corners of her eyes, then she looked up at Si Han helplessly and said, Baby, can you give me some face in front of my artists? Face? Si Han revealed a look of suspicion. After giving it some thought, Si Han assumed Yi Wanwan was worried about being misunderstood and didn't want him to act too close to her in front of people from her company. His eyes turned cold, but at the same time, he released her hand. Yi Wanwan smiled and didn't offer an explanation. In the next second, she removed his coat and tossed it lightly back to Si Han. After that, she removed the shawl around her neck and twirled it twice around Si Han's neck tightly. Yi Wanwan giggled and spoke at a volume that was only audible to the two of them. What I meant was that even if we create some misunderstanding, I should be the dominant one at least, eh? If my artists think I'm a pushover, wouldn't I lose face? Si Han, one of the men, smiled gently. He looked absolutely stunning, like an elegant prince who lived with riches and honor, while the other was extremely cold, like pure white snow that covered mountaintops, unaffected by troubles of everyday life. They seemed completely incompatible on the surface, yet they still looked so harmonious. Standing together, they were as beautiful as a painting. Moreover, there seemed to be an ambiguous relationship between them. Not far off, Luo Chen, Han Xianyu, Gong Su, and Tang Xinghua had perplexed looks on all their faces. If that was a scene of a guy and a girl, it was definitely a beautiful and warm image with a ton of dog food. But right now, it was two big men. Isn't there something wrong with this? Tang Xinghua swallowed and leaned over carefully. Who was that guy just now? How's he related to Yi Ji? Why do I feel like something isn't right? Could it be my misperception? Gong Su exploded immediately and quickly charged towards Han Xianyu and Luo Chen. So this is what you guys meant by Yi Ji liking women? Han Xianyu and Luo Chen looked at each other. After that, Luo Chen said, "Is there a problem?" The veins on Gong Su's forehead protruded. "You're asking me if there's a problem? Didn't you see it for yourself just now?" Luo Chen replied indifferently, "So what if I saw it? It's just two regular friends getting along." As for Luo Chen, who had already seen Yi Bai pouncing on Si Han on the sofa before, he found it perfectly normal when Si Han placed a coat over Yi Bai's shoulders and touched his hand a little. Perfectly normal. Are you blind? Gong Su grumbled, then turned to Han Xianyu. "Xianyu ji, do you think it's normal too?" Han Xianyu rubbed his nose. "It should be nothing, after all." Han Xianyu had seen more than Luo Chen, he even witnessed Ninth C kissing Yi Bai. In the end, Gong Su was the only one left confused in this crazy mess. Chapter 681, There must be something fishy. The car drove smoothly on the road, but Gong Su's mood was similar to a roller coaster ride. In the back seat, Gong Su was close to breaking down and he started talking to himself. "Shit. Is there really something wrong with me? Am I just overthinking? This young master here has been very skilled in dating since the age of 3, how could I possibly be mistaken about such things? There must be something fishy going on between Yi Ji and that facial paralysis man. Yes, there must be something." Tang Xinghua, who was timidly sitting close to the window, asked meekly, "Can I say something?" Gong Su snapped at him, "Shoot." Tang Xinghua said, "I just wanted to say that whether Yi Ji likes men or women, why does it matter to you? You absolutely don't need to be so frustrated about it." The moment Tang Xinghua's words fell, Gong Su's face froze. "That's right. What does Yi Bai's sexual orientation have to do with me, and why do I care so much?" Gong Su tried to tell himself that he didn't care, and it was just because Yi Bai was the older brother of his little candied plum that he was paying more attention to him. However, there was a constant replay of the scene from that night in his mind, the image of Yi Bai draping the coat over the man's shoulders and putting the shawl around him. And the way Yi Bai was looking at that man's face. Tang Xinghua saw the perplexed look on Gong Su's face and mumbled, "Unless you're really gay." Gong Su lowered his voice. "Unless I'm what?" Tang Xinghua obviously didn't dare to speak his mind. He shook his head and said firmly, "Nothing. Nothing, nothing." Gong Su stared ferociously at Tang Xinghua. His gaze was as piercing as an X-ray. Tang Xinghua's hair stood on end from the stare and he covered his mouth in panic. "There's no way, right? Don't tell me he wants to do that again. Driver, stop the car. Stop the car. I want to get off." Tang Xinghua originally planned on staying over at Gong Su's villa tonight, but judging by the current situation, it was too dangerous to stay with him. When the car finally approached the villa, Tang Xinghua immediately wanted to hop out without delay, but just as he was about to get off, he suddenly realized something didn't seem right. The villa was surrounded by a mass of people outside. There were reporters carrying cameras and their microphones along with countless fans holding up LED banners. The banner clearly read, "Gong Su, leave the entertainment industry," and "Gong Su, apologize to Ling Xiaozhe." The moment Gong Su's car appeared in everyone's sight, they began banging on his windows and rotten eggs and vegetables were constantly thrown at the car. Gong Su's mood tonight was already bad, and at this moment, he burst out in a rage. "Fuck. This is young master's new sports car." Tang Xinghua furrowed his brows. "Other than a couple of close acquaintances, nobody knows about this villa of yours. Who leaked that information?" "Who else?" Gong Su sneered. "Anyway, just lie low till everything blows over," Tang Xinghua said. It had only been a few hours since Wan Shan posted the video on Weibo, but the incident had already been made known to the entire industry and internet. Even the mainstream media began to join in the crusade and escalated the problem to the issue of an artist's moral conduct, social class, and other sensitive issues. Although Gong Su had a strong backer, things could become tricky if this issue got too messy and the related departments for the aforementioned issues got involved. If they continued to escalate the problem, Gong Su might even really have to leave the industry. Tang Xinghua's eyes swept across the crazy media and fans outside the window. Gong Su, you really went a little too far this time. I think you better apologize. Otherwise, I'm afraid it'll be too hard to clear the mess if things get out of hand. Chapter 682, Unconventional. In the driver's seat, the little assistant, Dong Zai, was in a difficult position and was trying to think of a way to escape. Tang Xinghua continued persuading Gong Su earnestly. Gong Su, I'm not trying to scare you, but Emperor Sky is obviously trying to mess with you this time. Almost half of the people from the entertainment industries shared the post, and this issue is getting more serious. Your father. Young master has waited over a year for this sports car. It has 900 horsepower, goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 2.8 seconds, has a speed limit of 350 km per hour with a top speed of 384 km per hour, and the glass is a work of art. Try hitting my little baby again if you dare. Shit. Still hitting, huh? Young master will fight all of you. Tang Xinghua nearly broke down. Brat, are you even listening to what I'm saying? What are you even focusing on? Hey, don't get out of the car. Gong Su, you're nuts. Tang Xinghua couldn't stop him at all and could only watch as Gong Su got out of the car even in such a situation. The moment Gong Su got out, it was like splashing cold water in an oil pan. The media immediately rushed to him wildly and started asking questions one after another like pelting hailstones. Reporter, Gong Su. May I know if you have anything to say regarding the incident of you acting like a big shot and splashing coffee directly on Ling Xiaojia? Gong Su lifted his chin, revealing his refined, handsome and domineering face. That's right, young master is a bigger shot than him, Ling Xiaojia. Reporter, bullying others like that, don't you think you went too far? Gong Su's lips curled back, revealing his cold and threatening teeth. Yeah, young master is a big bully, so what? Bite me then. Reporter, so you're not going to apologize to Ling Xiaojia? Gong Su raised his brows. Apologize? Young master will splash coffee on that dumbass, Ling Xiaojia, each time I see him. Get him to fight me if he dares. Hearing Gong Su's words, the fans and bystanders exploded in fury and charged towards him violently. Gong Su, go to hell. You're a scum in the community. Tumor. Leave the entertainment industry. Gong Su raised his brows and straightened his shirt. Ayo, come at me. Throw that, aim it right here. Young master's shirt isn't some cheap stuff like Ling Xiaojia's, a small piece of this fabric is worth $1 million. Go ahead and throw. Come at me. Come, Tang Xinghua, Dong Zai, the two of them watched helplessly as Gong Su headed straight into the jeering crowd and unleashed his ego. Dong Zai was so anxious that he nearly cried. Xingji, what should we do now? You better stop Gongji, we can't let him continue like this. Tang Xinghua looked at the outstanding hero before him verbally sparring with others. You think I can stop him? Those reporters assigned to follow Gong Su were the happiest, they never lacked explosive content and topics to publish. It went without saying what the hottest gossip would be the next day. Tang Xinghua squeezed into the crowd and used tremendous effort to pull Gong Su out. Brat, that's enough. Stop yelling. Why should I? Unless they clean my car. Gong Su's mind was focused only on his baby sports car. Tang Xinghua gritted his teeth. I'll clean it. I'll get someone to clean it for you, alright? Can we go back inside now? Gong Su stood in front of everyone boldly. No way. Whoever dirted my car will clean it up for me. If they don't clean it up today, they don't have to think about leaving. Young master isn't done with you guys. Everyone, when stars encountered such a situation where they were surrounded, they were usually in a state of panic and couldn't wait to escape, but Gong-soo, on the other hand, wouldn't let the media leave. He was really unconventional. Truly an exotic flower in the entertainment industry. Chapter 683, Distorted Heartbeat. Yi Wanwan was taking a shower when her phone was flooded with countless messages till her battery died. When she opened one of the links, a video popped out immediately. The video was quite shaky and noisy, and the scene was in complete chaos. In the crowd of black shadows, Gong-soo's fluorescent blue flight jacket was exceptionally striking. That's right, young master is a bigger shot than him, Ling Xiaozhe. Yeah, young master is a big bully, so what? Bite me then. Ayo, come at me. Throw that aim it right here. Come, they don't have to think about leaving. Yi Wanwan didn't know whether to laugh or cry when she heard that last sentence. He doesn't hide immediately when he runs into the media, and instead, he acts like a big bully and stops them from leaving. I'm afraid in the entire entertainment industry, Gong-soo is the only one who does this. Her phone rang continuously like it was pressing her to death. It was a call from Gong-soo's assistant, Dong Zai. Yi Wanwan answered. Hello. Dong Zai sounded like he was on the verge of crying. Yi Ji, I'm so sorry, we bumped into the media and fans at the entrance and I wasn't watching Gong-soo closely. Yi Wanwan replied, I already saw the video. Dong Zai, Yi Ji, what should we do now? I really can't stop him. Yi Wanwan already expected this to happen. Don't worry, let him be. Dong Zai was stunned. Huh? Let him be. How can we do that? Yi Ji, are you sure? Are you able to stop him? Yi Wanwan replied with a question. Dong Zai didn't have any rebuttal. I can't. Yi Wanwan, so, do you still have any questions? Dong Zai, no. Dong Zai hung up in a daze. What kind of bosses am I working for? Why are they becoming more and more unconventional one after another? Yi Wanwan browsed on the internet. It was filled with gossip and news regarding Gong-soo. There weren't many people who were able to commit such a terrifying massacre in the entertainment industry. Gong-soo's temperament was too unique, so he was always in the middle of gossip and was the focus of the crowd. He was a natural star. Such an assertive character, if not controlled or guided, would be fatal to him, just like it was now. However, as long as PR was done right, no one could be as popular, had the capacity, nor was as talked about as him in the entire industry. Then he'd be the king of popularity. Initially, taking over Gong-soo was just an unplanned move, but Yi Wanwan had become quite interested in this challenge now. The next morning. Dazzling media, Yi Wanwan's office. Yi Wanwan was dealing with some matters for a bit and felt a little tired. She supported her head with one hand and lay down on the sofa to take a power nap. At this moment, her office door was slammed open with a loud bang. Gong-soo charged inside in a fury while Dong Zai staggered behind. Suji, slow down. Slow down, damn it, I want to get rid of Ling Xiaozhe. There can only be one of us in the entertainment industry. Yi Ji, go tell management that I would like to get rid of Ling Xiaozhe. As long as the tiger doesn't show its power, he treats me like a sick cat, huh? He actually dared to step over my head. He wants to play, huh? Young master, shall play till his death. Gong-soo exploded like a firecracker, but halfway through, he suddenly noticed the youth resting on the sofa. The sunlight filtered through the window panes and danced on the youth's peaceful and beautiful face. Gong-soo went silent all of a sudden. Thump thump, his heart started beating recklessly once again. Damn. **PID heart. You're not done, huh? No way, I need to get an answer by today. I have to prove to myself that I'm definitely not gay. Chapter 684, Let me give you a kiss like a thief. Gong-soo slowly leaned towards the man resting on the sofa. I just have to give it a go, and it'll be done. But the moment he approached, Yi Wanwan suddenly opened her eyes. Gong-soo immediately stood up straight with a swish. Yi Ji. Yi Wanwan placed the document in her hands down and shifted her eyes to the sofa beside her. Come, take a seat. Gong-soo remained motionless and stood rooted at the same spot. He said sternly, Yi Ji, I have a request and you have to agree to it. Yi Wanwan raised her brows. What is it? Gong-soo said firmly, May I kiss you? Dong Zai, who was by the side. Damn. What did I just hear? I think I'm probably deaf. When Yi Wanwan heard his request, a dangerous light flashed in her eyes. She glanced at Gong-soo with a fake smile and said slowly, Are you trying to court death? Gong-soo felt as if a Cupid's arrow shot through his heart. He clutched his chest and wailed. Ouch! Yi Ji, don't do this. Don't look at me with that expression. Don't talk to me with that tone. It's simply too much. Yi Ji, you look too similar to Little Candied Plum. Whenever I look at you, I accidentally see you as Little Candied Plum. It's as if I'm turning gay. Dong Zai, Ji gay. I practically just found out some earth-shattering news. Could this artist be any more immoral? Gong-soo mumbled, Luckily, I kissed Tang Xinghua last night and it made me extremely nauseous, which proves I'm still straight. But Yi Ji, once I see you, my heart still jumps recklessly like a little deer. It's so stupid. As long as you let me give you a kiss, and if I feel disgusted, I won't have to worry anymore. Yi Wanwan, suddenly, I feel a little sympathetic towards Tang Xinghua. Gong-soo tried bargaining, then, why doesn't Yi Ji let me meet Little Candied Plum once? Once I see Little Candied Plum, I won't have this misperception anymore for sure. Yi Wanwan was about to speak, but she was interrupted by a knock at the door. Director Yi, Suji, it's time for the meeting. Yi Wanwan, got it. We'll be there soon. Yi Wanwan casually glanced at Gong-soo. You want me to agree to your request? Gong-soo's eyes lit up and he nodded continuously. Yi Wanwan stood up, straightened her lapel and gave him a sidelong glance. Sure, as long as both your legs are strong enough. As in, if I'm not afraid of getting my legs broken. Gong-soo immediately felt a chill down his spine and his calves started to tremble. In the conference room, all the higher-ups in dazzling media were present. In the middle seat was the general manager, Yang Jin-yuan. Seated on his left was Yi Wanwan, followed by Gong-soo. Yang Jin-yuan's expression was solemn. What is the PR department doing? Up till now, they still haven't gotten the situation under control, and instead, the matter is getting worse. The director of PR felt resentful. He snuck a glance at Gong-soo, who was sitting there with his legs crossed like a great master. Mr. Yang, we've tried our best to keep the matter under control and deleted all the relevant posts. We've done everything we could, but Gong-soo kept quarreling with the netizens online last night. It's simply too hard to deal with. A weak teammate does you more harm than a strong enemy. We worked so hard and finally managed to keep the matter under control, but a simple comment from Gong-soo invited another slew of scoldings once again. We're all going crazy, alright? You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.